Money on my mind, got my money in my mind, right? Money on my mind, got no time for that limelight. I'm from California, man, I guess we'll start with that. Banged out starter caps, glued to the cul-de-sac, looking like an artifact, trying to get their money back. Yellow jackets coming, mama about to have a heart attack. Southeast San Diego, we was at the heart of that. You moved about the hood, my nigga, you ain't want no part of that. Move to work and let the money drip the laundry mat. I pray to God the homie get his little daughter back. So many problems and it's not even a part of rap. So many suckers and they hating and they copycat. And life is bigger than these bitches that you hollered at. And if you bleed $1, better get $3 back. And all I'm giving is the facts. Pay attention to the stats and never making mention of the jacks. Gotta keep the money stacked, work your way through the traps. Money motivated to the max. Money on my mind, got my money in my mind, right? Money on my mind, got my money in my mind, right? Money on my mind, got my money in my mind, right? Money on my.
What up? What up, man? How y'all living, man? Welcome to the remix with Cali Dre. Yeah, we back. We back, man. Listen, I hit y'all with that No Kings protest today. Dropped a little sports on y'all today. Now I'm gonna double back and get y'all the motherfucking news break. Come on, man. What more do y'all want me to do? You feel me? Listen, this is the remix with Cali Dre, man. Subscribe to the channels, man. I'm on YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, all that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Getting to it. I'm out here getting to it, man. You know what I mean? Like, comment, and subscribe, man. How y'all living today, man? Good Saturday, man. I've been chilling all day, trying to get these views up, trying to run these numbers up, man. And you know what I'm saying? The process continues right the fuck now. You feel me? So, yeah, we're going to get into a little bit of shit, man. What do I want to talk about today, man? Actually, I ain't hollered at my OG, and let's holler at OG real quick, man, just to get this shit going in the right direction. I do got a little bit of politics content I want to break down, a couple news stories, and then we're gonna get into that main event. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So let me let OG do his 1-2 as I know how to do, because I am gonna kick a little politics noise tonight, but then I'm also gonna jump to some news stories, and then we're gonna get to that main thing. You know what I'm saying? So without further ado, man, let me go ahead and pass the mic to OG and let him get his off. You know what I'm saying? As only he know how to do, because that's what we all about. Especially today, man. There's no King's Day. We really speaking truth to power out this motherfucker, man. So I'm gonna let OG get his shine on real quick.
You bitches.
Right here.
You heard it from me. That's right. I hope you can see through those thick ass glasses.
Hold up. See, they already playing with your boy, man. They already playing with your boy. Listen. Come on, man. I need a nigga for the Geek Squad ASAP. I need a Geek Squad nigga on the team ASAP. You know what I'm saying? Because they steadily playing with your boy, man. Let me get OG back on the screen. Let OG do his 1-2 like he know how to do, man. Let's get it.
You bitches. You heard it from me. I hope you can see through those thick ass glasses that you fucked up. You stand there and sanction this bullshit and they kill the woman. They're ruining businesses that have been here for generations. They're fucking up this community. You can go home safe, but no, you're here to terrorize this city. A bunch of bitches if I've ever seen a bunch. And I'm telling you to your face. And if you don't like it,
fuck you. Yeah, OG. Let them know how you really feel out here, man. You know what I'm saying? Listen, we all about that, man. Speaking that real truth to power, man. And that's what today was all about, man. There was a bunch of protests going on throughout the United States, man. And I definitely want to tap in with some of that action. Hit that like button, man. Subscribe to the channel. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna get to this show, man. We're gonna get to it because that's the only way I really know how to do it, man. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, man, I'm not even gonna go to threads. I don't even got nothing over there I really want to chop it up about. But here, hold on. Let me pull this up real quick. But I definitely want to speak on what's been going on today and some of the things that's been going on this week, man. And so today was a big day, man. It was No Kings protest out there. A lot of people showed up, man. There was a lot of people out there in them streets. They estimating about 8 million people showed up today to protest. So I want to check in with a little bit of this protest video. And we're going to start the show, actually. Yeah, we're going to start the show on some politics shit, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to start the show on some politics shit because today was a very, very interesting day in the world of politics, man. Get the likes up. Hit that cash app for your boy one time. Get the subscribes up. And let's check in with what's been going on today.
Welcome back to the weekend prime time and our live coverage of the No Kings protests. You're looking at live pictures out of Los Angeles, where one of the major rallies is taking place right now, with thousands taking to the streets to protest President Trump's agenda. And moments ago, according to the New York hands-off organizer, we learned that at least 350,000 people attended the rallies here in New York. We're going to bring in MS Now correspondent Jacob Soboroff in Los Angeles. Jacob, tell us, how's it going over there?
Antonio, I was watching you all day in New York. I was watching Maria in Chicago. I was watching Rosa in Austin and Laura in Minneapolis. I mean, all over the country, the scenes look exactly like they do in Los Angeles. This is the third time I've done this in LA. I did it in June, on June 14th, after the ice raid started, on June 6th. I did it October 18th here. And now here we are again, March 28th, an incredible day. We're waiting to see if the numbers will be as historic as they have been time after time here. And I continue to meet you guys. Come over here. Come here. Come on. Come here. I'm watching you from behind the camera. What's your name? Come over here. Stand right next to me.
I work for the federal government.
Oh, well, then stand this way, so, or whatever.
She made it real clear. I work for the federal government. I ain't giving no names, motherfucker.
This is the only throne Trump is fit for. On the other side, it says, this Latina abuela veteran.
Yeah. Turned up today. This is Los Angeles, California, right here.
Tell me what it's like to be out here.
It's like being in the same place as being with family.
Have you ever done this before?
Many times. This already like falling apart because it's like the third time I brought it out. So
You're not really a grandma, are you?
it's evergreen. I am a grandma. I'm an abuela.
Dan, that's amazing. You are incredible. It's incredible to be out here with you. Thank you so much for talking to me.
Was he trying to hit on grandma? Y'all let me know in the comments. Was old boy trying to hit on grandma real quick? Is that sound like he was trying to shoot his motherfucking shot?
Where over the course of the last, and let's see how close we can get because I want to show you what's happening up on the stage right now. The signs always tell the story. Democracy, I love you. Democracy, I love you. Tell me about your sign. Tell me about who you are.
Well, I love democracy. I don't love what's happening with this country right now. All our constitutional rights are being trampled on. Laws
Yeah.
are totally being disregarded.
That's a fact.
Being disregarded.
That's a fact.
We have three branches of government equal in power to check each other. There's none of that right now. That's so disgusting.
Yeah, that's a fact. I agree with that.
It feels like there are no checks and balances in this country. What's your name? Eve. Really nice to meet you. I'm Jacob. Have a good time. Be safe out here today.
Listen, I'm gonna be real with y'all, bro. Hold up, bro. Now that I look at Jacob out here working, Jacob out here trying to get some action. Jacob out here trying to fuck something. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Jacob look like he trying to fuck something. You know what I'm saying? He a little too comfortable out here at the protest, man. I got to be perfectly honest about that.
On the steps of City Hall, there have been, in my lifetime as a citizen of this great city, the City of Angels, the second largest city, the most populous county in America, countless protests. 1 million people came out 20 years ago for a march in support of comprehensive immigration reform. And over the years that I have been on the street, both as a reporter and as a civilian, to see the power of Los Angeles. Remember, this is where it all started, you guys. Those raids kicked off in the Fashion District, just a couple of blocks away from here. Those Marines and those National Guard troops were stationed in between.
Listen, let me speak on that real quick because the Fashion District ain't been the same. That's what I'm saying. Like a lot of the violence and a lot of the, they still chasing around immigrants and shit like that. But a lot of the heavy violence that was going on in Los Angeles has fallen back. But the streets ain't the same. Fashion District, you know what I'm saying, ain't the same. It's a real, you know what I'm saying? It was a real vibrant type of feel, man, every day, especially on the weekends, man. But it's real light out there, man. And it has a lot to do with, the things that's going on in this administration, man. So that's why today was a very important day. And we definitely going to cover it on this podcast, man. Hit that like button.
And all of those protesters who came out here to push back, nobody had stopped over the course of the last year, pushing back on this, not only the attempt to institute the largest mass deportation campaign in American history, but everything that the Trump administration is doing. You'll hear it time after time. Let's keep going just a little bit, because I know, guys, you got a show to do, but it's too important not to hear from people out on the streets. Is this your first protest? I'm not saying.
Look, Bo said he ain't trying to be on camera, nigga. Fuck that. I got warrants, nigga. I got motherfucking warrants. Hit that like button, man. Subscribe to the channel. Yeah, we tapping in with the people for a minute, man. Bunch of protests. They saying there's about 8 million people that hit the streets. So I want to get a feel of where the country is right now. You feel me? So that's why we watching this.
Was taken to the ground in the early protests here, and they continue to show up. SEIU, can I say hi? Okay, you're SEIU? You guys come out. I mean, I've seen you at every protest time after time after time. What keeps bringing you out? Well, we're trying to fight for a better life for our members. They take care of the tedious in our community, and we want to make sure they have a country they deserve. So that's why we're here. Taking a little breather on the floor? A little bit. Just for a second. It's hot out there. What's your name? Far Abdullahi. It's really nice to meet you. I'm Jacob. Thanks so much. Guys, Jacob, this march hasn't even started.
Jacob, what are you hearing from participants about what's motivating them specifically today? Has it changed at all now that we're at war with Iran? Are you hearing much mentions of the war as a motivating factor?
I'm hearing about all of it. And
yeah,
with the midterm elections approaching, people realize and understand. In our 4 o'clock hour, I talked to Ezra Levin live from Minneapolis, that it's not just enough. He said it, people out here are saying it, to come out and protest, even in record numbers, even in the biggest numbers that we have ever seen. There has to be a mobilization in the eyes of the protesters.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact.
To move from theory to practice, as it were, to get people out and to actually show up, not just at the polls on election day, but to make this administration understand that this will not stand. And I think that in LA, the immigration raids were the catalyst to get people out originally. But as time went on, whether it was the tariffs here in LA, which workers felt on an extraordinary level, you have an Iranian community here in Los Angeles that has both spoken out for and against, depending on who they are and where they come from. But I think everything is on the table for people out here.
Yeah, that's a fact, man. I think everything is on the table, man. I think that's why the people hitting the street so hard, because everything is on the table, man. And it's been a lot of nefarious acts, a lot of bullshit that has been levied on the people, man. All the prices going up, everything going up, but the money in your pockets. You know what I'm saying? And so I just feel like days like today is most definitely important to get that coverage on where the people are, how the people are feeling, you know what I'm saying, about what's going on in their society. You know what I mean? I want to check out another video, man. I want to shift a little bit. Let's check out some information on how things are going in this war, man. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, man. This is the remix with Kelly Dre.
I hope for you that this peace deal will work out. That you as a human, as
The New York Times, it's like,
listen, George Bush made that same mistake, jumping on an aircraft carrier with mission accomplished strapped to the back, right? If this war was won, why we just sent 5,000 and now I'm hearing another 10,000 troops over to the Middle East? Why we got aircraft carriers and paratroopers and shit all over there in the Middle East, man? If this shit is already over, if we already won, then what the fuck are you sending all these troops over there for? Why are my tax dollars going to send troops to a war that we already fucking won? The math ain't mathing, champ.
we're not winning a war where they have no Navy and they have no Air Force and they have no nothing. And we literally have planes flying over Tehran and other parts of their country. They can't do a thing about it. For instance, if I want to take down that power plant, that very big, powerful power plant, they can't do a thing about it. It's like, take me. That's all they can do. But And yet, if you read the New York Times or if you watch ABC fake news or NBC fake news, you'd say it's a close battle.
Is that
Media network.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with y'all.
Your mind into a perfect real.
It's hard to get a gauge on what's going on really in the war, but we ain't winning that motherfucker. We may not be losing, but we damn sure ain't winning that motherfucker. That's a fact.
In for Ken Harbaugh this week. So please, someone tell me, is this what winning looks like? Is this what true victory looks like? President Donald John Trump this past week has gone on record multiple times saying that the United States has won the war with Iran. The United States has won the war despite the fact that gas prices are at an all-time high, despite the fact that we have not one but two Marine expeditionary units headed towards the Middle East right now, and despite the fact that we have another aircraft carrier in the George H.W. Bush and the command element of the 82nd Airborne en route to the Middle East. Never mind that the actual brigade combat team is on hot standby. So if you have already won this war, then why are literally thousands of troops headed to the Middle East with a $200 billion request for funding sitting on Congress's door?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. I mean, listen, he just laid it out for you, man, better than I could. You know what I'm saying? If we already won the war, why is there a $200 million funding request sitting on Congress's desk to approve? You know what I'm saying? Why are we sending all these motherfucking troops out there? Why are we taking weapons from Ukraine and putting them over in Iran, man? So again, the math ain't mathing, in my opinion. But we're gonna let this Navy commander break this whole shit down for y'all. Hit that like button, man. Subscribe to the channel.
I don't know. Now,
Yeah.
the French and the British are cobbling together something to try to keep the Strait of Hormuz open, but let's not get it twisted. Canada, along with other countries, stood on business this past week saying we need a new world order where the middle powers have autonomy and do not.
Yeah, that's a fact, man. And I think a part of he mentioned the new world order, and I think that's a great way to try to think about what this administration is doing across the globe. They're trying to create a new world order. And in this new world order, democracies don't have power. Dictatorships do have power. The greedy and the ultra rich can do whatever they want. You and me got to take it and just deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all let me know in the comments, man. Is that the type of, you know what I'm saying, society that you want to be a part of? We got a Navy commander right here illustrating all the ways we're winning this war. Let's get it, man.
Have to rely on the United States. terrified about energy prices falling back on you.
Yo, think about that, right? They easing sanctions on the enemy that's helping. We discussed this in the previous show. They easing sanctions on Russia. Russia is helping Iran bomb us. That shit don't make no sense, man. You know what I'm saying? And so again, I get tired of telling y'all this shit. I've been telling y'all this shit for it feels like fucking 2 or 3 years at this point. But I'm trying to find different voices that maybe resonate better than mine. And so y'all could listen to a Navy commander, man. He know more about this battlefield shit than I do. So hit that like button.
Victory thing that winning has been harsh on the American psyche, and we haven't even gotten started.
This episode is brought to you by Pocket Hose, the world's.
Oh man, y'all wasn't able to hear that video? Hold on, man. Let me know in the comments. Can y'all hear the video? Let me know in the comments, man. Can y'all hear the video? Yeah, because he giving y'all that real, man. Matter of fact, I'm gonna chop this down real quick. But as y'all can see, man, the spin is that we winning. And the reality is I don't think that's the case. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's the case. And it's been illustrated multiple times. I mean, if we're winning this war, why are we continuously sending troops into this region? Why we got paratroopers over there? Like, why is there a $200 million funding request on the desk of Congress to try to fund this war that we already won? The shit don't add up, man. It don't make no sense to me. And so I'm going to continue to ask these questions because shit, somebody got to. You know what I'm saying? Why not be me? You feel me? But yeah, so you know what I mean? If y'all heard that video, I hope y'all heard that video. But basically the Navy commander was breaking down, you know, the same thing I just broke down to y'all, which is it's a fallacy that we are actually, you know, the war is already over and all these claims that this administration is making. But at the end of the day, y'all got to decide for yourselves, man. What y'all, you know what I mean? What kind of country y'all want to live in? Like, people can give y'all good information. You know what I'm saying? I could give y'all good information, but what y'all gonna do with it? You feel me? What y'all gonna do with it? You know what I'm saying? That's the ultimate question. I'm just one motherfucker in the world. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, good all the way back. Okay. Yeah. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? This game is a participation sport, man. And you know what I mean? that's the reality. But I do like what I'm seeing on the horizon, man. I'm seeing a lot of, you know, Democratic elections, Democrats winning elections. I'm seeing people at the CPAC convention calling for Trump's impeachment. You know what I mean? So I'm seeing a lot of good signs. But this got to translate in November, man. If it don't translate in November, then all that shit don't mean jack. You know what I'm saying? All that shit don't mean jack. But I think people are very much tired, you know what I'm saying, of what's going on in the status quo. And so, you know, if that's the case, then yeah, we gonna be in a good spot, man. But again, and it don't even stop with this election, man. It goes beyond that. Like, people gotta, you know what I'm saying, keep engaged, stay engaged with this shit. You know what I mean? That's like the whole enchilada. You know what I mean? So here, let me try to run this video real quick and see if this shit play real quick, man. This the remix of Cali Dre, man. I appreciate y'all for tapping in with your boy. Here, let's play this video. Let me see if this go. Let me see if this go. Hit that like button, man. Subscribe to the channel.
Such an
Yeah, they see this shit been acting goofy, man. I don't know what the fuck going on. Here, I gotta like add this shit to the screen a couple times, man. I need a I need a motherfucker from the Geek Squad to start tapping into the show, man. You know what I'm saying? We get this motherfucker his own segment at this point. Cause StreamYard, y'all be on some bullshit sometimes. I gotta keep it real, man. But yeah, let's check this video out, man. Let me know if y'all can hear this commentary right here, man.
Obvious escalation trap in this already disastrous, catastrophic, and clearly unlawful war in Iran. Right now, Donald Trump is considering sending another 10,000 troops to Iran after 5,000 troops have already been sent to Iran, and after there were about 50,000 troops already in the region. These 10,000 additional troops would be joining some of the troops from the 82nd Airborne Division, including the elite paratroopers, the Marine Expeditionary units that were on the USS Tripoli, some of the other ships that are still heading there right now from San Diego. And by all accounts, the Trump regime is preparing what has been referred to as a dramatic escalation. A dramatic escalation. Now, this follows Donald Trump lying yesterday morning yet again and claiming that he had these productive conversations with Iran, and as a result, the Trump regime would not strike Iran's civilian energy facilities for another 10 days because the conversation was just going so well with all of their Air Force bases that they
I'm gonna skip past that
to maintain their ballistic missiles capabilities and control over the Strait of Hormuz, and that the United States has to give firm security guarantees, as well as Israel needs to give firm security guarantees that Iran will never be attacked anymore, and that Iran's proxies, whether it's Hezbollah or Shiite militias in Iraq or elsewhere, will not be attacked by the United States and Israel ever again. That's the only thing that Iran has communicated as a threshold to even agree to negotiate.
Yeah, so Iran has basically said, fuck what y'all talking about. The only thing we want is for y'all to get the fuck out of here, leave us alone, and you know what I'm saying, get up out the region. And so all these conversations that this administration and Trump says that he's having with Iran, I don't see it, man. Like I don't think that that's very much true. So I definitely wanted to put that out on the table. It's a lot of spin going on. It's a lot of fallacies. It's a lot of bullshit in the air, man. And so yeah, I just wanted to spend a little bit of time on politics, man. I'm not gonna get too deep into this political shit tonight. It was one more video I wanted to show. Where is that video, man? Because it was talking about basically the week and that's going on in like the financial markets. And I wanted to definitely tap in with that before I go to the next segment, man. This the remix with Cali Dre, man. I appreciate y'all for rocking with your boy. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel. You know what I'm saying? Here, let me find this video real quick. But yeah, so yeah, I don't want to spend too much time on the politics tonight because, like I said, I hit the No Kings protest early, jumped on that. I think we got a lot of good information out of that. But I wanted to revisit a couple of things that happened today. Actually, we'll double back on that finances because it was another video that came out as well, man, about this Epstein shit. So I want to take a look at this video, man. Y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think is going on with this Epstein shit, man. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, man.
Jeffrey Epstein's death. We just don't. And the mainstream media never covers it. And I want to examine why and why the latest leak about the guards who falsified documents around Jeffrey Epstein's death.
Letitia
and
Davis,
we
what
heard
up?
from Bill Barr on the days after Epstein was pronounced dead is so important in understanding Donald Trump's broader cover-up, not just in this term, but his first, because the administration is desperate for us to think that this Epstein cover-up and the Epstein scandal more broadly, this cabal of criminals was small, but that is not the case. This was a far-reaching cover-up, and this latest leak around Epstein's death shows why and in how many ways that have not been talked about by the mainstream media. But it all starts with the line that we hear so often delivered by Kash Patel and Dan Bongino, his former deputy director of the FBI, about Epstein taking his own life.
You said Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide. People don't believe it.
Well, I mean, listen, they have a right to...
Yo, how many of y'all think Jeffrey Epstein killed himself? You know what I'm saying? How many of y'all think Jeffrey Epstein really killed himself? Here, I don't even like Kash Patel, man. Fuck what he talking about. We're going to finna get to the rest of this commentary. But how many of y'all think Epstein killed himself, man? Let me know in the comments.
Because, of course, I don't think that Epstein took his own life. But I asked that question, and you get called a conspiracy theorist. I asked for records that were shredded, answers, an investigation that we never got. And we get called conspiracy theorists. The mainstream media doesn't do its job, and when we try to fill in the gaps, you're a conspiracy theorist. And there's no reason to ask, because who would ever question what Kash Patel has to say? Really? Are we being serious right now? But no. That is what they throw at you in the mainstream media if you actually want to do the job, if you actually want to ask the questions. And of course, that is what Donald Trump's government is always saying to us. And remember, Kash Patel was the person who told us that if there was a broader cabal of criminals, a broader cabal of traffickers around Epstein, he would have prosecuted him that day, the day before. But we do know that there were. And so no one can, and obviously you wouldn't, but no one can take Kash Patel's word as truth, especially when those who have reviewed the documents most, like Ro Khanna, are saying this to me in an exclusive interview that we had.
Letitia Davis said, Kash on I say he lying, Drake. Hey, most definitely, man. I don't trust Kash Patel as far as I could drop him, man. Here, I don't, Ro Khanna, y'all will play some of this Ro Khanna later, man. I just want to get to a little bit more of my guy Mick Jagger's commentary, because he be breaking this shit down, and he gets straight to it, man. He don't be fucking around. Let's get it.
Conspiracy theorists. Ro Khanna is by the book. Ro Khanna has done all the work. Ro Khanna has reviewed more Epstein files than maybe anybody else, and I am so grateful that we have had his leadership. Even Ro is telling me that he thinks, I don't know, my feelings have changed. That is what Ro Khanna said. His feelings have changed after reviewing these documents, and why wouldn't they? It is so clear that this current administration did everything possible to cover up the Epstein files and is continuing to do so. So why wouldn't the first? Donald Trump was just as implicated back then. So were all the wealthy elites around him. Why wouldn't Donald Trump have done as much as he possibly could, including going so far as to put the hit out on Epstein? Steve Bannon was saying it was possible. Epstein said that Trump was sweating bullets every night.
So young Mick Jagger here think that old Trump then put the hit out on Epstein, man. How many of y'all think Trump did drop that bag on Epstein, man? You know what I'm saying? How many of y'all think Trump then dropped that baggie on Epstein top, man? Yeah, that's, I mean, listen, him or somebody in that Epstein circle, man, for sure.
So why wouldn't that happen? Well, new information, a leak revealed in the Epstein files, and some important journalism is exposing more about that night and the days after, and it is answering a lot of the questions I have, but also causing me to ask some more. Overlooked remarks from Epstein jail guards blow hole in Trump admin narrative. Report. A past statement released by former Attorney General Bill Barr came under new scrutiny Friday after famed Jeffrey Epstein reporter Julie K. Brown flagged a series of overlooked remarks from two jail guards who were tasked with monitoring Epstein the night that he died. On August 10th, 2019, the day Epstein was found dead in his New York jail cell, then Attorney General Bill Barr released a statement on the disgraced financier's death. Epstein's death was ruled suicide by hanging. I was appalled to learn that Epstein was found dead early this morning from an apparent suicide while in federal custody. Barr said,
yeah, so basically, it was some statements that was made by some of the guards that, and I covered this on a previous show, so I'm going to fast forward past this. But basically, some of the guards saw Trump's first term administration shredding documents after Epstein died that were related to Epstein. You know what I'm saying? Lots of documents. And so I'm sure that that's where that commentary is going. I don't believe he passed away. Yeah, I don't believe he passed away of natural causes for sure. I think it was some unnatural causes that sent Jeffrey Epstein to the upper room. So yeah, I think it was a fat bag on his head, man. It's all too convenient. You know what I'm saying? He gets convicted. All these powerful people connected to him, and he taking a dirt nap. What, a year? Not even a year or two later. Oh, my birthday. Oh, that's your birthday? The day he passes your birthday? Yeah, happy birthday, man. I mean, listen, they got one out of here that shouldn't have never been here, that should have been out of here for the shit he was doing. So I mean, you can look at that a couple ways, but yeah, you know what I mean? Like shit crazy, man. Here, I'm gonna tap in with a little bit more of this, man, and we're gonna jump segments, man.
Barr and his family have a direct connection to Epstein. So there's that. Let's just start there. But these two guards, criminally charged with falsifying records around Epstein's death. Of course, it was dropped. They were asked a couple of questions, and I think those questions were pretty damning. I think they were pretty telling. I think it exposed a lot that even they were questioning. Well, it wasn't 2 years later until the one guard, Brown, said, "Oh yeah, I found him hanging. He died by taking his own life." It was 2 years later. Yet Bill Barr on that day was able to say he knew for certain that was the reason. Bill Barr with the Epstein connection, by the way. Bill Barr willing to do anything for Donald Trump, much like Pam Bondi, of course, till the end January.
Yeah, Bill Barr does have an Epstein connection, and it's interesting that he's delivering the information. So I just want y'all to see like how, and I'm gonna stop it right there because I think y'all get a gist of what the fuck I be saying, which is everybody is in these fucking Epstein files. Everybody that's close to Donald Trump, that's in this administration, that he hangs out with, that he's friends with, that he knows, all these motherfuckers is in these Epstein files, man. So the cover up is massive. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think that's all I wanted to get on these politics shit, man. We'll get back into some politics another day, man. I want to jump segments real quick because there's a couple of news stories as well that I want to cover, man. This is the remix with Kelly Dre. Appreciate y'all for rocking with me, man. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel. You know what I'm saying? YouTube, Twitch, Kick. You know what I'm saying? All my Kick followers, man. What up? You know what I'm saying? Big ups and what ups. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. We had an interesting time in this place, man. But you know, by what I seen today, I was positively, you know, feeling pretty positive about going forward because people were actually starting to wake up, man. And that's the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? That's a part of the reason I started this channel was so that I could break down this politics shit, make it a little bit more easier to digest for people. You know what I mean? A little more entertaining because some of this shit is dry as fuck. Hell, I get tired of talking about politics all goddamn day sometimes. That's why I try to mix it up with the news stories and different shit. But at the end of the day, we all in the same goddamn boat. So what we gonna do? You know what I mean? Like that's kind of where it's at. You know what I'm saying? We done already seen what this administration has to offer. And yeah, my pockets ain't went up none. Like the zero. I ain't got no raises. I ain't got no increased wages. Oh, this is the video I wanted to show right here. Here. And speaking of the bread, let's talk about the bread for a second. Speaking of the motherfucking bread, let's talk about the bread for a second, man. Hit that like button and subscribe to this motherfucking channel, man.
How do we stop it? We need some.
Yeah. How do we stop it? Here, hit this skip button right here. That's all we start.
Is a disaster. Look at Q4 GDP growth of just 0.7. We're headed for recession. In fact, for all of last year, GDP grew just 2.2%. That's 20% below the 2.8% from 2024. But it is slowing fast. And all of this was before the war. Now that Trump started a war, the situation is going to get a lot worse. The national jet.
Hey, listen, thank you for tapping in. You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen. The more you tap in, it motivates me to continue to do this, man. So, yeah, I appreciate y'all. I can't do this without y'all. You feel me?
Went past 39 trillion, I think, yesterday. I think we're going to blow through 50 trillion over the next 3 years because recession, rising interest rates, war, and a housing crisis are going to send our budget deficits through the roof.
Our buddy, economist Peter Schiff, I don't know how he keeps getting invited back on to CNBC, but I'm glad that they have him back on because and Fox, because he speaks the truth. Oh yeah, he's on Fox right there, but he's usually on CNBC, and he doesn't hold back when it comes.
Hey, listen, even Fox News got to start talking this real shit, man. Even Fox News got to give the real financial breakdown, man. I don't even want to hear that commentary, man. We finna go straight to the guy. We're going straight to the guy, man. I don't even want to hear none of this shit they talking about.
None of the FOMC members are voting for a hike, and that's what we need. But they're afraid to deliver a hike because of what it would do to the markets, to the economy. You know, when you talk about the resilience of the American consumer, it's all based on the ability of the consumer to go deeper into debt, to buy more products he can't afford, and that we didn't help produce. And it's all about leverage. And so the Fed understands this. And in fact, if the Fed starts hiking interest rates, one of the most impacted is the U.S. government itself, because the cost of servicing the debt explodes as interest rates go up. Meanwhile, look at the housing data that came out today. Home sales are collapsing because real estate prices are at least 30% overpriced nationwide. And we are on the cusp of a decline in housing prices, at least as great as the decline in 2007, 2008 that precipitated the 08 financial crisis. And I think the economy.
Yeah, so basically what he's saying is we on track to have another financial collapse with all this goofy ass shit that this administration is doing, man. And I think if you look at all these arrows right here, those arrows are supposed to be green and pointing in the upward direction, but they're red and they're pointing in the downward direction. And this is for home builders. So I think he covers a few different topics. I want to get into this finance, and then we're going to jump. Hit that like button.
Is even more leverage now than it was then.
So there is a lot to unpack from what he just said there, but let's start with interest rates. So the Federal Reserve just yesterday voted to leave interest rates unchanged. So they're at 3.5 to 3.75%. Now, specifically, Schiff mentioned the FOMC, which stands for the Federal Open Market Committee. These are the individuals who vote on whether or not they increase, decrease, or keep the interest rates where they're at. Now, 11 of its 12 members voted to leave interest rates unchanged. Only one individual voted to lower interest rates. Now, Peter Schiff believes that the Fed should be raising interest rates in order to keep inflation from spiraling out of control. And he also discussed US consumer debt. But before we get to consumer debt, Cenk, which is disastrous, your thoughts about interest rates, because there's no winning if you ask me.
No, they should keep them where they are.
Interesting.
Yeah, listen, we ain't gonna get deep into the interest rates. Y'all seen the arrows, man. They was red and pointing down in every metric that fucking matters. So, I mean, that's the gist of this whole shit. We ain't finna get super deep into this economic shit tonight. But I just wanted to give y'all that. I think he can explain that better than I can. You know what I'm saying? And them arrows explain it way better than I can. They're red and they're pointing down, goddamn it. I mean, what more do you need to see? So from the financial perspective, some economists are predicting that we are going to be approaching levels of instability in the financial markets that's close to like what we experienced in 2007. Which, I mean, shit, with all these moves, it don't look far off to me, especially when you start relaxing, what they call regulations on all these, big banks and all these financial firms. That's how we got in in this problem in 07, right? It was a relaxation. It was a combination of things, right? It was people being taken advantage of, but there was also a relaxation of regulation that allowed those people to be taken advantage of. And that's kind of what caused, that situation. But this is very visible to the naked eye, right? Y'all see gas prices going up. Like, I don't gotta explain bond markets and all that shit. Just go try to fill up your fucking gas tank and you'll see this shit ain't right. So, I ain't gonna go too far into this politics shit, but I did want to give y'all that economic breakdown. And now we're gonna jump. You know what I'm saying? Now we're gonna jump because this is another story that I wanted to cover tonight that I was watching the other day, and I actually didn't get a chance to finish watching it, man. Hit the like button, man. Subscribe to the channel. This the remix with Cali Dry. I appreciate y'all for rocking with your boy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, for sure. You already know. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you for tapping in. You know what I mean? All day long. But I wanna look at this story real quick. Actually, it's a couple stories I want to look at. There's a couple stories I want to look at, man. Where I want to go with this shit. Here, let's go right here first. Hit that like button, man. Subscribe to the channel.
Texas is feeling.
Yeah, and they would hit me with a motherfucking commercial. This is the problem with live TV, man. You know what I'm saying? Do I need to get that premium? I might have to get that motherfucking premium, man. Hit that Cash App and subscribe to this motherfucker so I can get YouTube premium. And we ain't got to deal with this shit.
Encounter that played out on a Center City sidewalk late last week. Newly obtained surveillance video shows the moment it all unfolded last Friday evening at the corner of 12th and Chestnut. As the video shows, it began with a verbal argument and quickly escalated. The woman killed shot with a gun that she pulled out and aimed at the man, who then grabbed it from her and fired it at her. Tonight, the DA is downgrading charges that were just filed against the shooter. Action News reporter Annie McCormick live in Center City tonight with all the latest, Annie.
Yeah, Brian, in light of this new video that you're about to see portions of, the district attorney announced today that he is downgrading the suspect's most serious charge of murder to voluntary manslaughter.
Yeah, so initially, this guy was charged with murder. Charges downgraded in a fatal Center City, Philadelphia shooting due to the video evidence. So as you can see, she walks up with the burner ready to go, and he ends up actually disarming her and ends up shooting her fatally. And so let's watch how this plays out.
New video shows the final moments of 33-year-old Lauren Jardine. Watch as a disagreement between Jardine and the suspect escalates. Jardine pulls a gun. Then it appears the suspect pulled a screwdriver. The two tussle. Then the suspect wrestles Jardine's gun away. We stopped the video before the shooting. Police say he shot her multiple times. Additional video taken by someone in a nearby building also shows part of the crime. Police arrested and charged John Kelly. This all unfolded just before 6 p.m. Friday at busy 12th and Chestnut Street. Jardine's family shared these photos with Action News. Just last year, she spoke at a city event for adult education and family literacy. There, she talked about working to earn her GED after her grandmother passed, saying, quote, "Now more than ever, I'm sincere and dedicated to earning my GED for both her and me, so one day I can start my own business."
Yeah, so this young lady pulled up, got into an altercation with a guy on the street, pulled a gun. He pulled a screwdriver, took the gun from her, and shot her to death. That's kind of where we at. Hit that like button, man. Rest in peace to this young lady as well.
According to 6ABC's data team, of all the shootings across Philadelphia over the last 12 months, less than 5% of the victims were shot in the 9th District, which covers Center City. Some nearby residents tell Action News the suspect has been known to cause problems at this intersection. This man described the suspect's behavior on the day of the crime.
When I was walking to the gym, he was screaming down the street.
Okay, so it looks like she may have got into it with like a vagrant type of individual. You know what I'm saying? He just walking the streets screaming at motherfuckers. He definitely got some mental issues, man. But rest in peace to that young lady, man, because that's a sad story. But I seen that on the timeline. I definitely wanted to you know what I'm saying, bring that to the people, man. What other story did I want to look at? Here, let's look at this real quick. Family in Gwinnett says a gunman showed up at their doorstep a couple motherfucking times, man. Let's look at this real quick.
Well, tonight, a family in Gwinnett County says that they were forced to find a new place to live after a gunman showed up at their door, not once, but twice, and even tried to kick in the door.
They reached out to 11 Alive's Cody Alcorn for help and shared their scary ordeal that was all caught on camera.
This happened Saturday at 12 when they first came.
It was the second floor down this hallway of an apartment building off Lawrenceville-Sewanee Road.
Yeah, so these is the two motherfuckers. These is the two motherfuckers that pulled up outside your doorstep. Now, you and your pad chilling. You know what I'm saying? Chilling like a motherfucker. Playing a little 2K. Probably cooking some food or some shit. Somebody, you know what I'm saying, ring the doorbell. Ding dong. You look out your peephole, and these two motherfuckers is standing outside. Bro got the strap hanging out his shorts at the door. This shit wild, bruh. This shit wild.
It definitely looked like they were trying to get us to come to the door.
No one was home, but the couple's Ring camera was activated. As we zoom in, check out the guy's waistband. That's a gun sticking out of his shorts.
And that's what really scared me. I'm like, what the crap? Why are they here?
He called Gwinnett County Police.
We were just kind of on edge, and we were like, hopefully they don't show back up, you know.
Their worst fear was about to happen.
We finally go to sleep, and then around 1 a.m., I just get woken up by like big old just...
Ron Allen, what up, fam?
Knocking on the door, full face on camera, and then decides to put the mask on.
He says he instantly recognized the guy from earlier.
It was the same person, yeah. He showed up in the same shoes, same shorts.
While he says he's never seen this guy before, he believes they were targeted.
In the video, you can hear him say, "She said," right? And he's like, "Yes." And no one else knows we live here.
He says the day before, a female neighbor living upstairs stopped him asking if they were too loud.
100% positive, honestly, that they're at some capacity involved. Just because of that conversation I had with them at night. And then the next day, these two guys show up.
Oh, shit. Yeah, you can tell he's scared as fuck. I'm going to tell y'all when a motherfucker's scared, though. You know what I'm saying? Look. When you talking to a motherfucking shadow, that mean that, hey, bro, scared as fuck. Hey, as he should be, though. Two motherfuckers pull up at your door. You know what I'm saying? Two separate occasions with weapons, you know what I mean? Visible. Oh, yeah. I mean, shit. I'm on my Malcolm X shit, man. I'm staring out the blinds with the banger, man. Ready to listen. Man, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, man. Hey, what would y'all do? Let me know in the comments, man. What would y'all do?
I had with them at night. And then the next day, these two guys show up. For him to pull up twice with the gun, with the mask, trying to force his way in at 1 a.m., I definitely think he would have.
Look, they trying to kick the door. They trying to kick the motherfucking door in.
I mean, we don't have any.
They trying to kick the motherfucking door in.
Pull up twice with the gun, with the mask, trying to force his way in at 1 a.m. I definitely think he would have killed us for sure. Cause
yeah, that's a fact. They was gonna lay y'all asses smooth the fuck down.
And I mean, was he gonna do? Just hit us and walk out? No, he's gonna kill us for sure.
Cody Alcorn, 11 Alive News.
Hey, listen, man. Watch your motherfucking neighbors, man. I guess that's the moral of that story. Watch your motherfucking neighbors, man. Because yeah, shit getting real out here in the field, man. Shit's getting very real in the field. Here, let's look at this, man. What is this story right here? Hit that like button, man. Subscribe to this motherfucking channel, man. Tap that Cash App one time for your boy, too, man. You know what I'm saying?
AI, and now I finally...
Let's get it.
It was early Wednesday, just before 12:30 a.m., on the entrance ramp from Talmadge Avenue to State Route 8 in Akron, when a 28-year-old DoorDash driver and his girlfriend making deliveries in their gold Cadillac were suddenly confronted with aggressive behavior by two teenagers in a silver sedan. Akron police say what started as a case of road rage quickly escalated into gunfire.
All we did was stop. The passenger side literally pulled out their gun and started shooting at us.
Someone that was tailgating them and driving aggressively. When the 28-year-old male pulled over to allow the car to go around him, that car then fired shots back at his car, and those shots came through the front windshield.
After being fired upon, the 28-year-old delivery driver pulled a gun that Akron police say he was authorized to carry and returned fire at the other car.
In GSW, so I don't know if you guys are looking for anybody, but one's here.
The DoorDash driver went to a nearby gas station and waited for police. He was unaware that one of the shots he fired hit the teen in the head, but he told officers he felt he had to protect himself and his girlfriend. Akron police agree.
He had not ever been convicted of a felony. He was qualified in that he has the legal authority to possess a gun. And in this case, he was really defending himself and his girlfriend and then fired the shots.
The 15-year-old brother of the teen who was shot admitted to investigators that he and his brother stole the car they were in.
Oh, that's all. Yeah.
The one who opened fire on the victim's car.
Oh, yeah.
And later disposed of the gun.
Oh, they ass out of there.
The teen was arrested on charges of felonious assault, tampering with evidence, and theft of a motor vehicle. And police say he is responsible for the gunfire that led to the death of his own brother.
Well, I guess we can chalk that one up. Listen, we already know what the end of that story is going to be. Yo ass going to jail, dumbass. Like, what the fuck was you thinking about, man? Actually, yeah, let's look at this real quick because this happened a while back, man. But I wanted to cover this story because this shit is wild. Check this out.
When Jessica Torres was shot and killed outside a hamburger stand in San Bernardino last month, police were at a loss for a motive. Now they think it was a murder for hire involving several people and paid for by someone very close to the victim. Inland Empire Bureau Chief Ron McMillan reports.
It's a case that had the San Bernardino Police Department stumped. The murder of resident Jessica Torres in broad daylight. Who would want her dead?
Jessica was a businesswoman in our community. She was well known and well respected by many.
It happened on January 10th outside Burger Point in San Bernardino. The victim walking out to her car. Watch as the suspect vehicle drives up. The suspect then approaching the victim. That suspect armed with a handgun. There's a fight over her purse, then a fight over the weapon. The victim doing everything she can to get away, then trying to run toward the restaurant.
Wow, he pulled up on her, Brett. Look, this is why you always got to keep your head on a swivel. Bro pulled up quickly, especially ladies, man. Y'all be, you know what I'm saying, walking around just in clouds and shit. Man, keep your motherfucking head on a swivel, man.
As the suspect vehicle drives up, the suspect then approaching the victim. That suspect armed with a handgun. There's a fight over her purse, then a fight over the weapon. The victim doing everything she can to get away, then trying to run toward the restaurant. That's when the suspect, identified as Gerardo Llamas, opens fire, killing her.
Later on during the investigation, we located this SUV.
Damn, that's sad, bro.
Abandoned on the east side of town. In that vehicle, there was evidence leading us to.
That's sad. Listen, bro, he pulled up on her so smooth. He pulls up on her. She ain't even paying no attention.
Victim,
she ain't paying no attention.
Armed with a handgun. There's a fight over her purse, then a fight over the weapon. The victim doing everything she can.
He's shooting at her over the car.
Then trying to run toward the restaurant. That's when the suspect, identified as Gerardo Llamas, opens fire, killing her.
Later on during the investigation, we located
Rest
this
in peace to that
SUV,
lady, man.
being the suspect SUV, abandoned on the east side of town. In that vehicle, there was evidence leading us to additional suspects.
So how did they put it together? Well, police believe this suspect is the shooter, this suspect the getaway driver. The investigation revealed that the driver's brother actually worked for this suspect, who leased land at a pallet company from this suspect.
Wow.
And it turns out he is the victim's husband.
Oh, damn. So her husband put a hit on her. Motherfucker chased her around the parking lot, laid her down, and they didn't figure out the connection, man. Hey, you can't trust no motherfucking body out here, man. Damn.
Targeted this victim in a murder for hire scheme that was stemming from a contentious divorce from one of the suspects, Sergio Reveles.
Police say the victim and her husband owned properties worth millions of dollars, but they're not releasing any details about how the alleged murder for hire.
You can look in this motherfucker face right here and tell that he up to no motherfucking good, man. Especially with millions of dollars worth of property on the line. Letitia, listen. Come on, man. You can look in this goofy, ugly motherfucker face right here, bruh, until he ain't to be trusted at all. You feel what I'm talking about?
Their plot started. They did say the husband paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to have his wife killed. All 5 suspects now facing murder charges.
We will proceed on this matter as is currently alleged with the potential of special circumstances as a result of some of the facts that you've heard here. And obviously the tragedy and travesty of having an individual that was essentially assassinated at one of her favorite eateries in San Bernardino is a very, very sad case.
Hello, I'm Mark Brown. Get more great.
Yeah, Mark Brown, we don't give a fuck. That's a sad story right there. Rest in peace to that lady, man. Yeah, when I saw that story, I was like, wow, that is unfucking believable, man. It was something crazy that happened. I think this was maybe yesterday. Video shows a jet at LaGuardia
here with that horrific
smashing
crash
into a
at LaGuardia
fire truck.
Airport, the deadly collision on the runway, an Air Canada Express passenger jet slamming into a fire truck. That fire truck had been given the okay to cross the runway. Late today, ABC News obtaining this chilling video here showing the moment that passenger jet crashed into the truck on the runway, moments after.
Yeah, let's spin that back. Video shows the moment a jet slams into a fire truck at LaGuardia Airport, killing both pilots.
Tonight here with
Rest
that
in peace to
horrific
those
crash at
pilots.
LaGuardia Airport, the deadly collision on the runway, an Air Canada Express passenger jet slamming into a fire truck. That fire truck had been given the okay to cross the runway. Late today, ABC News obtaining this chilling video here showing the moment that passenger jet crashed into the truck on the runway.
Wow.
Moments after touching down.
Damn.
And tonight, audio from the air traffic control tower suggesting a controller in those final seconds urgently tried to then get that truck to stop. He could be heard saying stop over and over again. The 2 pilots killed, a flight attendant reportedly still strapped into the jump seat, ejected onto the
Wow,
runway.
look at this
More than 40
motherfucking
passengers rushed to the
plane, bruh. Damn. So they say the 2 pilots lost their lives. I believe it was a flight attendant that was strapped in. I believe she was ejected out, and I'm sure a bunch of frantic and scared ass passengers, man. Rest in peace to all the people that's involved, that lost their life in this. Prayers out to everybody affected in this, man. This is a sad story right here.
Hospital, the 2 firefighters in that truck surviving, raced to the hospital too with broken bones. Tonight, the NTSB on the scene, preliminary data showing the plane was going up to 105 miles per hour just before impact. With the pilots dead and the flight attendant ejected from the plane, passengers turning to one another to help each other, describing the chaos and escaping down that wing. ABC's Gio Benitez leading us off tonight from LaGuardia Airport.
Tonight, horrifying surveillance footage posted online shows the moment an Air Canada Express jet slammed into a fire truck across the runway at New York's LaGuardia Airport. The
So this is
NTSB
in New
now
York.
on the scene, pouring over the mangled wreckage of the first deadly crash at LaGuardia in more than 30 years. It happened at around 11:40 p.m. after authorities say air traffic controllers granted a Port Authority fire truck permission to cross runway 4 to respond to a separate incident, a United Airlines plane reporting an odor in the cabin.
Okay, so the fire truck was just going to go, look at a suspicious odor, and another plane. Somebody gave them the clearance, and before they knew it was all too late, man.
Reporting an odor in the cabin. Listen to Truck 1 talking with the tower.
Truck 1 and Company LaGuardia Tower requesting to cross 4 at Delta. Truck 1 and Company cross 4 at Delta. Truck 1 and Company crossing 4 at Delta.
But at that very moment, Air Canada Express Flight 8646 from Montreal was coming in for a landing on that very same runway. Listen to the controller trying to tell the truck to stop.
Stop, Truck 1, stop. Stop, Truck 1, stop.
But it was too late, as that surveillance video posted to X shows.
Damn.
There was no time for the plane to stop or abort the landing.
That plane wasn't
Preliminary
stopping.
data from Flight Radar 24 shows that the plane was traveling between 93 and 105 miles an hour at the moment of impact.
We were honestly sleeping.
Yeah, listen, a plane full of passengers going that fast, that plane wasn't stopping on no dime, especially in that weather either, man. Yeah, this is a sad story right here, bro. This is fucked up.
And then landing, and all of a sudden, boom, woke up in shock.
We were a couple rows behind first class, and it was everything at the front of the plane was pretty messed up.
Jet 646, I see you collide with a vehicle there, just hold position. I know you can't move. Vehicles are responding to you now.
Passenger Jack Cabot shooting these video clips as passengers climb down off the wings. And in this short selfie video, you can see the moment the nose of the plane tipped upward. Watch again closely as the passengers move to the rear of the cabin to escape. One flight attendant was reportedly found outside the plane, alive and still strapped in their jump seat. Authorities confirming the pilot and co-pilot did not survive.
I want to extend my sympathies to the families of the two pilots.
Yeah, most definitely.
These were two young men at the start of their careers.
41 of the 72 passengers were taken to area hospitals, and inside that fire truck, 2 Port Authority officers surviving as well, taken to the hospital with broken bones. Listen to the air traffic controller speaking with a Frontier pilot who witnessed the collision, telling that pilot, "I messed up."
That wasn't good to watch.
Yeah, I know I was here. I tried to reach out to my stuff. We were dealing with an emergency earlier. I messed up.
No, man, you did the best you could.
This was a very busy night with a lot going on. The weather was bad. There was an emergency aircraft that the fire crew was trying to get to. It's not hard to see how a mistake could have been made.
And amid a nationwide shortage.
Yeah, I mean, shit, it's unfortunate, man. But as they explained, there was a lot going on. Bad weather. There was already another suspicious odor in another plane that the fire truck was trying to get to. And, you know, somebody most definitely fucked up, man. But rest in peace to the pilots. Prayers out to everybody that's involved and you know was affected by this. Yeah, this is a sad story right here.
Air traffic controllers, Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy addressing reports that there was only one controller in the tower at the time of the crash.
I've heard the rumor.
Yo, this is why it's important not to fuck around with TSA and what's going on at the airport, man. Because again, there's a lot of stress and a lot of, you know, toxicity in these airports. And again, it can I blame Trump. I'm gonna just flat out motherfucking say it. Y'all know what I'm gonna say. I blame Trump. The family paid now. Yeah, you know, but I mean it's you know, that's the last thing on anybody's mind at this point. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, shit, I you know, yeah, lawsuits most definitely coming. Probably a couple, 2 or 3 lawsuits is coming. You know what I mean? Shit, probably a couple, 2 or 3 lawsuits is coming out of this situation, man. Hit that like button.
Rumor that there was only one controller in the tower, and that's not accurate.
So let's bring in Gio Benitez with us live tonight from LaGuardia. And Gio, you reported there that flight attendant ejected from the plane, still strapped into their seat, the 2 pilots killed. And you think about all those passengers on board who had to work together to get themselves off the plane.
Yeah, David, they were essentially on their own. These passengers trying to figure out how to get off the plane, how to open those doors on their own. But David, we saw a real miracle here with that flight attendant who was ejected. Apparently, we're told she's going to be okay.
That is good.
Yeah, man, look at the front of this fucking plane right here, man. Like that's unbelievable, bro. That's unbelievable, man. Yeah. You know what I mean? This is an unfortunate situation, man. Really all you can say is just, you know what I mean? You got to just be prepared to, you know, reconcile and you know, try to put your life back together if you was affected by this, man, because yeah, this is one of those that, you know what I mean, this ain't gonna be easy to come back from on all sides. Like everybody kind of, you know, feeling some loss in this situation, man. So rest in peace to those people, man. Prayers out to everybody that was affected, man. And yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, there's not even much. I don't even know what to say. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even know what to say, man. But yeah, we gonna jump. You know what I mean? We're gonna jump to the next segment. What other video did I want to show y'all? Man, I think it was one more video I wanted to show before we got to before I get to the main event. You feel what I'm talking about? Was that it? Nah, that's not it. Hit that like button, man. Subscribe to the channel. Nah, that's not it. Where is that video at? Here, you know what? Fuck it. I'll show that shit tomorrow, man. We finna jump. Cause it was another story that I wanted to talk about. And shit. I'm high. I think I lost that video too. See, this is what happens when you high and you're trying to do some TV shit. You know what I'm saying? That shit don't work all the goddamn time. But yeah, I appreciate y'all for fucking with your boy here. Let me find this video, man. me put myself on the big screen real quick. Here, y'all gonna have to look at my black ass for a minute, man. So what y'all think about these stories we didn't cover so far? Cause I got I got another one that's about to blow your mind once I can find this shit. But what y'all think about the stories that we didn't cover so far, man? It's been pretty wild. That plane crash was out of control. The Trump shit, you know what I'm saying, most definitely is. What can we do about that at this point? But continue to protest and continue to motherfucking try to stand on business. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. What is this? What is this? No, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Man, I should have lined this shit up better, man. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I got a whole bunch of videos I try to segment these joints out, you know what I'm saying, by like, you know, some type of show format, but I've just been jumping today because I did the No Kings and then I ran the sports shit. So I got videos stacked on top of videos and shit. But all kind of shit up. I'm trying to tell you, I listen, it'd be so much shit I'll be wanting to bring to the people because, you know, there's a lot of things going on in this world people may not be aware of, man. So, you know, I try to bring a lot of, you know, impactful stories. And sometimes these motherfuckers be stacking up. Here, let's look at this real quick. Somebody stolen strap ended up at a motherfucking Bojangles, man. So, yeah, let's look at this real quick while I find this other video, man. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Hit that cash app one time for your boy, too, man. You know what I'm saying?
Otherwise takes negative action.
New tonight, a man arrested on multiple charges at a Bojangles. Police say that man had weapons and a backpack full of marijuana.
Fox 5's Denise Dillon is live in Marietta, and Denise, it started as a call for loitering.
That's right, and police would never have known what this guy had on him if he had just left this restaurant when he was asked to. Instead, officers showed up and found the guns and drugs he was carrying.
It's very common for business owners to make phone calls about someone sitting or loitering inside their business for an extended period of time.
This time it was at the Bojangles on Cobb Parkway in Marietta. It was just after lunchtime Monday. A man had been in the restaurant for hours and refused to leave.
Our officers arrived and went through multiple different entry points into that business.
Investigators say when the man saw them coming, he tried to slip out the back.
That's when he walked right into the arms of one of our other officers.
The officer noticed the outline of a handgun in the front pocket of the man's hoodie and asked if he had any weapons.
He's denying that he has any weapons, but immediately goes to put his hand into that front pouch, where the handgun is located, with a round in the chamber.
Police said the officer grabbed 22-year-old Joseph Watson's arm and got the gun. It was a Glock that had been reported stolen out of Union City and modified with a switch.
And modified to now become a fully automatic weapon. That weapon had one in the chamber as well as he had a magazine with 31 rounds.
Investigators also found a second gun and a backpack full of marijuana.
Multiple baggies of marijuana, some packaged ready for distribution and another larger one.
Oh, he was ready to go. He was ready to go.
Multiple felony charges. And it all started.
He was ready to go.
About loitering.
Thankfully, this business owner contacted
Listen, that all started from a damn loitering call. Hey, listen, if you're just gonna be standing around out this bitch harassing the local patrons and shit, don't have a whole goddamn half a kilo in your goddamn back pocket. Don't have a whole ounce, you know what I mean, in a strap. Like, I don't know what motherfuckers be thinking these days, man.
This could have turned out very differently.
And Watson is being held in the Cobb County Jail without bond. Reporting live in Marietta.
Yeah, as he motherfucking should be. As he motherfucking should be, man. Like, that was some dumbass shit. Here, let's take a look at this video right here, man. Y'all ain't gonna believe this.
Only on 6, a corrections officer caught on camera here beating an inmate back in 2023 could go to trial in May. NBC6 exclusively reported Officer Myth Lewis June's delayed arrest a few months ago. Records show that beating caught on camera. You watched it here with us. This happened in March of 2023, but state attorneys decided to file a misdemeanor charge against the officer this January, nearly 3 years later. Prosecutors told NBC6 they gave the officer's attorneys time to investigate the case.
Nah, bro, we don't want to hear that shit. Look at the ass whooping that was put on this man while he cuffed up.
Only on 6, a corrections officer caught on camera here beating an inmate back in
Wow.
2023 could go to
He is
trial in
whooping
May.
his ass, bro.
NBC6 exclusively
Handcuffed. Look
reported
at this
Officer
shit.
Myth Lewis
This how they do you, bruh. This how they do you in the motherfucking joint, man. This how they do you, man. Look at this shit.
A corrections officer caught on camera here beating an inmate back in 2023 could go to trial in May. NBC6 exclusively reported Officer Myth Lewis June's delayed arrest a few months ago.
And then he had the nerve to hit him with the pointed taser on him, bro. Like, look, this shit is this is uncalled for. Oh yeah, you want to talk about a lawsuit? He went full Mayweather on him, Uncle G. You know what I'm saying? He went full Money May on him, Uncle G. Damn, bro.
Only on 6, a corrections officer caught on camera here beating an inmate back in 2023 could go to trial in May. NBC6 exclusively reported Officer Myth Lewis June's delayed arrest a few months ago. Records show that beating caught on camera. You watched it here with us. This happened in March of 2023, but state attorneys decided to file a misdemeanor charge against the officer this January, nearly 3 years later. Prosecutors told NBC6 they gave the officer's attorneys time to investigate the case before filing. Today, Lewis June's attorney was in court where a judge set a
Yo, look at his hands, bro. Look at his hands from that. Man, what was the reason, bro? What was the reason behind that altercation right there? If y'all know anything about this, let me know in the motherfucking comments, man. Out of control.
tentative trial date for May. Defense attorneys previously told NBC6 they believe the officer acted in self-defense. The victim, Spencer Butler, he is currently in jail on unrelated charges.
Wait, what? I know I didn't hear that, what I just heard. Let me spin that back one time. I know I didn't hear what the fuck I just heard, bro.
Butler, he is currently in jail on unrelated charges.
No, that
The
ain't.
victim, Spencer Butler, he is currently in jail on unrelated
Nah,
charges.
that wasn't it. No, that wasn't it. That was. Hold the fuck up, bro. Nah, fuck that. I fuck this commercial. Nah, fuck that. Hold up, bro. I know I didn't hear what the fuck I thought I just heard. I know I didn't hear what the fuck I thought I just heard. Hold on, family. Hold on, family.
Trial date for May.
Hold on, family. I know I didn't hear what I just
To
thought
investigate the case before filing. Today, Lewis June's attorney was in court where a judge set a tentative trial date for May. Defense attorneys previously told NBC6 they believe the officer acted in self-defense.
Yeah, that's the shit I thought self-defense. Nigga said the officer acted in self-defense. You gotta be shitting me, bro. Listen, I'm not even gonna spin that video back because that shit's kind of hard to watch. But listen, I'm just gonna give y'all the snippet version, okay? Where's the self-defense at though? We're gonna just freeze frame a couple of frames. Where's bro got his hands behind his back. So, and he's handcuffed. Where's the self-defense?
6, a corrections officer caught on camera here beating an inmate back in 2023 could
Where's
go to
the
trial
where's
in
the
May.
self-defense?
NBC6 exclusively reported Officer Myth Lewis June's delayed arrest a few months ago. Records show that beating caught on camera. You watched it here.
They saying this is self-defense.
2023.
They trying to run the state is trying to run a self-defense on
Only on
this.
6, a corrections officer caught on camera here beating an inmate back in 2023 could go to trial in May.
Listen.
NBC6 exclusively reported Officer Myth Lewis June's delayed arrest.
Man, if they get away with that, bro. This may be the greatest travesty in the history. Fuck the Epstein files. If they get away with this shit right here, bro. Oh nah, bro. Nah, bro. The motherfuckers need to hit the streets for this. Like that right there was out of control and uncalled for on a lot of different levels, bro. I mean, there was no need to even get to that level with that dude like that, bro. Like you don't beat on a motherfucker that got handcuffs on. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the first part. That's where you fucking up. You don't beat on a motherfucker that got. But if you gonna do it, don't do it in front of a fucking camera. And if you gonna do it, don't do it to where your knuckles is fucked up. He made a whole lot of mistakes in this shit, bro. So it don't make no sense, man. It don't make no sense. Uncle G, what you talking about, man? Hey, just as bad as Tyree Nichols. Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. He going to jail. He a black cop. Hey, he need to take it. Hey, listen, his ass need to go to jail. For that shit we just saw right there, bro, that was, man, motherfucker lay your ass down over some shit like that. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you, bro. Like I'm looking for that motherfucker after my bid is over. And we gonna have to settle that when the cuffs ain't on, bro. Like, nah. Nah, bruh. Like, nah, that shit don't fly. That shit ain't gonna fly right there, man. Let me see. What else do I want to look at? That shit got me fucked up. They talking about self-defense for that shit, bro. Like, nah, that doesn't work for me. That doesn't work for me at all, bro. What else did I want to? Is there anything else I want to cover on this, man, before I get to this main thing? Let me see. Let me see. What is this right here? Hit that like button, man. Subscribe to this channel. Yeah, I'm just going through a bunch of shit. Oh, yeah, this is the one I wanted to see. Oh, yeah, here we go. I found it. Yeah. Y'all thought that last shit was wild. Check this out, man. It says he set up killers posing as a girl on Instagram.
A company like
Yeah, let me run that back for the niggas in the cheap seats. This motherfucker posed as a girl on IG just to set his ops up.
A lot of us have made the mistake of thinking with our head and not the one above our shoulders. Seeing something we like on Instagram, sliding into our DMs, falling into a good conversation, and planning to link up on a late night, trying to get cracking. But what if the person we talking to ends up being them dudes from 11A East Coast Block Crit, telling you to pull up on a block they know you feel comfortable on shortly after midnight? This is where Anthony Smithers, aka Infant Loco from A. Trey Hoover, found himself in the early morning hours of October 5th, 2025. At 15 years old, Infant Loco having an exchange, allegedly, with a young lady, planned to meet up with her in his hood, and ended up being shot 17 times in the middle of a war that had a lot of people looking at the wrong suspects.
Wow. Yeah, that's a lot to take in, man. He got shot 17 times, thought he was talking to a girl on IG, ended up being the ops. Yeah, let's check in with this, man.
Street Politics, the best hood channel on YouTube. Viewer discretion is advised. Everything we about to go through in this video are allegations set forth by the police in the discovery and investigative reports. All the suspects.
Yeah, and listen, this is Rap News Street Politics. As you can see the logo, man. I rock with that content. Yeah, they do basically like hood report cards on all these, entertainment figures, rappers, gang banging niggas saying they gang banging online. This motherfucker right here go through very detailed. He know about all the hoods, and he give motherfuckers a grade for their activity and for they how reputable they is in the game. And so, yeah, I fuck with Rap News Street Politics. I'm gonna definitely bring y'all some other shit if I gotta pull it out the bag on a couple niggas, man. But yeah, hit that like button.
Case are innocent until proven guilty. Now, Infant Loco, a 15-year-old kid, hit the internet with a hood vlog. A lot of people started to take notice of him because he had a deformity on his hand, somewhat of an underdeveloped extremity, rendering him disabled. This caught a lot of people's eyes. He's out there with the Hoovers in his set, and a lot of people took notice. But as we dig deeper into the paperwork, we're going to show y'all exactly who plotted on him and stated that they got on to him after that hood vlog. But we got to start everything on October 5th, 2025, on 97th in Vermont. Police respond to a call at 12:46 a.m. in front of an apartment building, and the caller stated hearing over 30 shots minutes before the call. When police arrive at the scene, they find 15-year-old Anthony Smithers lying in the driveway, suffering from 17 gunshot wounds to different parts of his body, including his head and abdominal area. Now, a party had just started wrapping up on this street, and when initial reports started circulating at the time of the death, people were associating his murder with that party, and they were also associating it with the Main Street Mafia Crips. At this time, there were allegations of back and forth murders between the Hoovers and the Main Streets, some high-profile cases, and the city was seemingly settling on this situation being a continuation of that war.
Yeah. So what's interesting about this story, man, in the introduction of the Main Street Mafia Crips, right? If you hear, it's another blogger, what I'm saying, that is got a lot of, what I'm saying, eyes and views on him, make a lot of noise out there, you know what I mean? But one of his cases is wrapped up with the Main Street Mafia Crips. And it said that, he was an informant, a CS2 in that case. So yeah, Main Street most definitely very active out here. Hoover is most definitely very active out here. But killer set a motherfucker up by posing as a girl on IG. Thought he was talking to a girl on IG. Ended up getting shot 17 times, man. It's crazy. It's a
Now,
wild
at the
story.
scene, left behind, there were 24 9mm shell casings and 8 5.7 shell casings. And the shooting also resulted in the apartment building Infant Loco was in front of being hit multiple times while people were just on the other side of the wall sleeping. And this is where detectives make their first move. They start canvassing 97, looking for the surveillance cameras. They end up coming up on one almost immediately, and it depicted all the events that took place right here in the 9 Deuce Hoops. They popped the tape on, and immediately a white sedan is seen driving westbound on 97 at 12:37 in the morning. On camera, they also see Infant Loco standing in front of the apartment building while this white sedan hits the block. As it approaches Infant Loco, the front and rear passenger of this vehicle start firing multiple rounds, hitting Infant Loco until he falls to the ground. When he falls to the ground, they proceed to fully jump out the car and proceed to fire more rounds at him before getting back into the car and continuing westbound towards Vermont Avenue. Now, with this video footage, they were able to put together that this car has some distinct features. Not only was it a white Honda Accord, but it had distinct rims and what they alleged to be distinct chrome door handles. So they went on ahead and met with Infant Loco's people. His people said that they really had no reason as to why he was on 97th at this time. He had been out the house for a couple days, somewhat in an estranged situation, and was staying in the 50s on 59th to be exact. And they didn't know how he made it over to 97th at this time. They also confirmed that he was a member from Atreyu. And before detectives left the meeting with his people, they came with a possible motive on why he was on 97. They believed that his cousin had dropped him off to meet a girl. And a few hours.
Okay, so yeah, so the police put together after he gets shot that his cousin dropped him off in this area to go meet up with a female, or so he thought. You know what I'm saying? Hit that like button.
After this interaction, his people doubled back on detectives and said that they gained access to his Instagram account. And just minutes prior to the murder, they saw his Instagram account, the Vermont Ave Prince 83rd, in communication with the female by the name of Pretty Ass B with 2 C's and a K on it. As they were looking through this text thread, they seen that Infant Loco had fell into a conversation with this young lady the night prior, October 4th, 2025. When he started off the conversation saying, "What's the deal?" This female account had got back up with him with an adult-style video of her performing specific acts on herself with the caption, "Fuck the phone, pull up." They begin to plan on meeting when he mentions that he about to see if his op cousin is going to drop him off.
Okay, so the shooter sending Instagram messages like he a chick, I guess found some video of another chick, you know what I'm saying, playing with herself, doing, you know what I mean, doing her thing. You know what I mean? And shot at the bro, and bro up with the gypsiness. He out of there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Man, listen, you can't trust these hoes, man. I hate to say it like that, but you can't trust these hoes, man. And now you gotta make double and triple shows, especially out here in some of these cities, man. Chicago, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Jacksonville, yeah, Memphis, California, LA, the Bay. These bitches will line you up, man. You know what I'm saying? And that ain't for the real women out there. You know what I mean? That ain't for you. But it's a lot of grimy ass bitches out here that'll line your ass up, champ. So be careful, nigga.
Insinuating that he got a cousin from an enemy hood that he trying to get to drop him off to meet up with this young lady. Of course, she heard the message, asked him when he could come. He said his cousin Groovy and he on his way. She sent the address on 97 and says, "Let me know how far." Now, 97 is again in the 9 Deuce Hoops, just 1 block south of Colden, one of their main spots over here. This is the area that Infant Loco would be comfortable in, being that he is also from Hoover. Pretty ass B
Birmingham
says,
too.
when he gets to the front, she gonna
Birmingham
come outside
too.
and get him. She said her parents finna go to sleep and asked him if he for show because she don't want everybody knowing where she stay at. He said he for show, and at 12:34, he sends her a message saying, "I'm here." She write back 12:35, said, "I'm coming." And approximately 2 minutes later, Infant Loco was killed in a hail of bullets going to a meetup of a female that he met on Instagram. Now, detectives are back, continuing to assess the scene over here on 97. And the last lead that they have was the white Honda speeding west towards Vermont. They decided to follow it with license plate reader cameras to somewhat intercept the way of travel to figure out where this whip went. As soon as it spent off for the murder, they caught it on 92nd in Vermont. Then they caught it again on Fig and 91st. They tracked it on Main, got it on Avalon, and when it got to Century and Avalon, they seemingly lost the hit on it by 12:48. Now, you know, seeing that text message thread, you know they came with the search warrant for Instagram. And when that search warrant came back, it came back with the device that was used that was linked to the Pretty Ass B Instagram account.
Okay. So, yeah, some clues within this message. Police figured out, you know what I'm saying, they got the subpoena for the IG. They figured out, you know, the detective discovered this handle right here, sent the video on October 5th, 2025. And if you read this handle, it's say Pretty Ass BTCCK. Now, if you ain't familiar with, you know what I'm saying, California gang politics, how motherfuckers spell shit, you know, can definitely be in inclination of, you know, where they stand at. You know what I'm saying? You know, shit, I'm guilty of it too. But at the end of the day, police was able to put together the play based on, you know, that search warrant and, you know, other circumstantial evidence. Once they zeroed in on, you know, these messages, they started to piece the puzzle together, man.
Able to see that 10 minutes after the murder, the Instagram account was deactivated off of Instagram, and the device that the Instagram account was signed in on had also stopped reporting on 91st and Hoover just minutes after the homicide. But something else that they also found on the device was 2 other Instagram accounts that had been signed in on it. Now, mind you, they didn't have the physical device. These were all records kept in the data of this device. Along with the Pretty Ass B account, another Instagram account with the name Boston BK 118 on it and the name Juice Man number 2 had also been accessed on the cellular device that had went cold on 91st and Hoover. So while they went ahead and submitted a search warrant for the new Instagram account they just found, they started doing back work on a phone number that was linked to the device. They found that it was opened up in the Cricket store off Imperial and Avalon back on September 24th, 2025, 2 weeks before the murder of Infant Loco. And when they looked into the individual that opened that account, they found the name Dylan Guillory with an address on East 115th Street in the 1180s Coast. Now, the name was a throw-off name. It didn't come back to anything. And when all of the geolocation data from that phone came in, they saw that it was at all places relevant to the homicide of Infant Loco at the time of the homicide. On 97, again, it was turned off on 91st, but it was also in the location of the images where police captured that white sedan on Vermont. Now with this,
Letitia Davis, they got him. Oh yeah, they got him. They not fucking around on this. Bro shot 17 times. They done pieced together the Instagram connection. Now they looking for suspects. You know what I'm saying? Hit that like button.
Search warrant with that Boston BK 118 account. That account produced 3 Gmails. One being mjuice@gmail, the other one being babyjob@gmail. And they went ahead and served a search warrant on the Gmails. Now, when the babyjob@gmail.com info came back, the billing information that was used on that account September 9th, 2025 was used in the name of Dylan Blackwell. Dylan Blackwell is Lil Juice Man from 118 East Coast Block Creek. 18.
Okay, so they got him. Let me throw that back up there. They got him.
18 years old, a young homie over here on the east side. Now, detectives noticed 2 things off the bat with this. Number 1, this is Dylan Blackwell who came back to a real person. They realized that the first name used on the AT&T account was also Dylan, even though it had a throw-off last name. And Dylan Blackwell's address was directly south of the throw-off address used to set up the AT&T device in Cricket. And this is when shit started getting hot. So now that they focusing on Lil Juice Man, they start to dig deeper into his Google accounts. They find his pictures in the mjuice Gmail account, and they stumble across a crazy-ass picture existing in his Google data. It's a screenshot message of the exchange between Pretty Ass B and Infant Loco.
They got him. Listen, he had a whole nother phone under his real name, and he got messages between the individual that was murdered and the account that individual was texting on IG the night of the murder. Letitia Davis, what'd you say? They got him. Yeah, most definitely. They got his ass.
Screenshot was of Infant Loco telling Pretty Ass B that he's in the 50s and stating that he's coming. Detectives also find another picture of Lil Juice Man dated September 9th, 2025, with him showing himself having a stick on 97th in Vermont, the same spot where Infant Loco would die less than a month later. But if that wasn't enough, they stumbled across a communication between Juice Man's Instagram account, Boston BK118, and another Instagram account of somebody from 5'9" Hoover. And Lil Juice Man is seen telling this dude from 5'9" to go pick his homie up. And he gonna tell him something that's gonna make him mad. He told the dude from 5'9" that he gonna show him something. And ends up sending this dude a picture of the Instagram DMs between Infant Loco and Pretty Ass B. And replied, dudes better stop thinking with they package. And
Letitia Davis, what you said? They got him. Oh yeah, bruh. Damn, this is cold work right here. He really got himself though. You know what I mean? Like he really got himself on this. You know what I'm saying? But damn, this is a wild ass story right here, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, man. It's the remix with Cali Dre. We breaking down this Instagram setup over there in the Hoovers, between Hoovers and Main Streets. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, man.
detectives now have him bragging about the homicide of Infant Loco. But he wasn't done. He hits up another Instagram account and he sends it a Citizens app link depicting the video of the homicide of Infant Loco and tells that Instagram account to send it to West Coast Gang Wars 3, which is the Instagram account that reported the homicide of Infant Loco on 97th in Vermont. He told him to caption it, the one-hand shouter from A-Trey Hoover, and told him who it was. Lil Juice Man directed the account to also send this information to the Foactive dude. And he was talking about Deontay Edmond, Lil Tiny Foactive from 94 Hoover. Deontay Edmond is an alleged participant in the war between the Hoovers and the Main Streets and is down for carjacking that was linked to a homicide. So while detectives are sitting with their jaw dropped, seeing all the shit that they came up with, October 21st, 2025.
Listen, my jaw just dropped with all the shit they came up with, bro. Letitia Davis said it best, bro. They got him. He got himself too, bro. But yeah, this shit out of control right here, man. Hit that like button.
They find the white sedan off 81st and May,
Yeah.
76 East Coast Hood. Located in the white sedan, one live 9mm round and a piece of white clothing. The white sedan was reported stolen from 117th and Main in the 11-8s and recovered by CHP in the 7-6s. And on December 5th, 2025, they take Lil Juice Man down at 10:30 in the morning off Imperial. By 2:06 p.m., they sit him in that room and Lil Juice Man waives his rights and notifies the detectives stating that he wants to make a statement. In Lil Juice Man's account,
What you said, Letitia Davis? They got him. Yeah. Once they put you in that room and you start waiving your rights and all that shit, yeah, that's a wrap.
he admits to being the driver of the suspect vehicle during the murder of Infant Loco. He says he was the person that carjacked the vehicle from 117th and Main. His description of the carjacking was he seen a Hispanic man late night on 117th, took him into an alley and pump faked on him. He didn't have a pistol. He acted like he had one and stripped the dude of his car keys, his cell phone, and sped off in the white Honda. He stated that on the day of the murder, he was with the two other suspects that jumped out the car, and they spent off Lansing and Imperial to drive to the Hoovers. He said they was continuously spinning the Hoovers, but kept coming up empty, not finding nobody outside. And he went on to compare his body type to the shooters, suggesting to the detectives that he was much bigger than him and to prove that he was actually the one driving, not the one getting cracked. He then admitted to purchasing a cell phone from Cricket off Imperial and Avalon and used $100 bills cash and the fake name. He stated right after he got the cell phone, he created the fake Instagram account, Pretty Ass B. He then found a location using Google Maps, which ended up being 97th in Vermont, before he started tapping in with Infant Loco. That explicit video of the woman on the Instagram message, Lil Juice Man said he stripped it off social media. It was a random video and just
Damn, bro. Hold up. So he sent bro just a random strip video off the internet, and bro was up out of his seat, ready to go get active with what he thought was a chick. Damn, it's a cold world out here, my nigga. It's a cold world, man.
Ended up being 97th in Vermont before he started tapping in with Infant Loco. That explicit video of the woman on the Instagram message, Lil Juice Man said he stripped it off social media. It was a random video and just sent it to Infant Loco. He stated that he drove to the location that he told Infant Loco to meet at, and when they got there, he proceeded to describe everything that went on with the two dudes that jumped out with the guns. He stated that
it's
he
premeditated
knew
for sure.
Infant Loco was from Hoover, and he stated that he knew him because he was watching prior vlogs, which were posted to YouTube. Juice Man stated after the murder, they drove back to Lansing, parked the vehicle, and he went to his homie's house on 117th. He then later confirmed that he dumped the vehicle on 81st and Compton Avenue. And he tried to blame the situation on, quote, a random old dude. Said the random old dude told him and his homies to go to the Hoovers, and that's where they went. And in his final act, he gave a consent to search form for his Samsung Galaxy and provided the passcode, wrapping himself.
What you said, Letitia Davis? As statements, yeah, you start giving consent forms and shit like that. I'm gonna let you host this motherfucker tonight. They got him. Yeah.
But on the homicide of Anthony Smithers, aka Infant Loco, from H. Ray Hoover Criminals. Now, this is a situation that a lot of us can relate to. You never know who you talking to on these Instagram apps. Again, Infant Loco, 15 years old. Everybody knows the mistakes, especially the ones made with the opposite sex at that age. These are two young kids, both sold up. Only one thing is factual. Infant Loco is dead. Lil Juice Man, these are allegations. He still got to have his day in court. But this is allegedly what happened when Infant Loco fell into a communication with what he thought was a young lady on Instagram and ended up meeting somebody from an enemy hood looking to score. This the best hood channel on YouTube, rap news, street politics. Y'all make sure y'all stay locked in for the next one.
Yo, what y'all think about that story, man? That shit wild, huh? I told y'all that shit wild. That shit wild, B. That shit wild. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man. So, yeah. Bro thought he talking to a chick on IG. You know what I'm saying? Turns out it's one of the ops. And he get gunned down 17 times. With 17 shots, I should say. Turns out police figured the whole scheme out. Put the pressure on, bro. He ended up providing statements and signing consent forms and shit. So you got to watch who you out there with, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that, as they say, it's better to do dirt by your goddamn self. But, you know, you definitely got to watch the motherfuckers that you align yourself with, man. I mean, the streets, you know what I'm saying? You know, number one rule in the streets is there ain't no motherfucking rules, man. So, you know, that lets you know what it is right there. But we gonna jump, man, because I got one more story I want to break down. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you do. You're really good. That's a really good story. I appreciate it. Yeah. When I was watching that, I was like, damn, that's interesting. Let me throw that up there. You know what I'm saying? Let me throw that up there for the people. You feel me? Just like this one right here, man. We're gonna step back in time a little bit though, man. I wanted to you know, I've been doing like kind of breakdowns on different entertainers and rappers and that you know may have had some suspicious circumstances around either they passing or around their life. And I think this story I'm about to bring to y'all right now kind of falls into that category as well, man, because young up and coming rapper definitely was supposed to be up next. Everybody, you know, thought he was gonna be up next. And he ends up getting killed, man. And so I want to bring y'all tonight, man. We're gonna talk about Lil Snupe. You know what I'm saying? Y'all familiar? Y'all from the boo? Y'all probably, Y'all probably know more about this shit than I do. So y'all can bring your ass up here and help narrate this shit if you want to, man. But I'm gonna jump on this Lil Snupe, man. We're gonna take a little step back, man, and check out the life of Lil
charged with
Snupe, man.
manslaughter. Things were starting
Let's
to
look
look
at
up
this
into
real
Lil
quick.
Snupe.
Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, man.
What it is, so that boy want to try me. I got me inside me, hold up and getting wild. You can call me presidential because I'm chilling in the lobby, since then getting girls up in the bed trying to buy me. You know what it is. You know I got to say, I'm going to get your girl and I'm going to make you buy back. And you know I'm riding dirty 26 on the left.
I'm the hottest out the 318. Sort of God, I put that say. Louisiana is my town. I hold it down for my state. Everywhere I go, the niggas know that I'm the truth. From the motherfucking streets to the motherfucking booth. There you go. Top right there. Off the top. Yeah, fine. Those off the top. I thought those were
And be like, you know, Boots in Louisiana, you know, like it's gonna be crazy.
Oh, we got Boo. Boo done showed up again on us, man.
Yeah, Lil Snupe, that's still my man. That's fucked up what happened. And I feel like in the recent rise of like youth, like the young rappers making like millions of dollars quick, I feel like he'd have been a millionaire. You know what I'm saying? And I think that the fool that smoked him kind of had that in the back of his mind the whole time and probably wasn't into seeing.
So is this the guy that ended up killing Lil Snupe? Y'all let me know in the comments. Is this the guy that ended up taking Lil Snupe's life? R.I.P. to Snoop too, man. Dope freestyler, man. Dope rapper. He definitely, got his life cut too short, man. Because he was on his way for sure.
And with that.
And it hurt that we had to, bury him today. Like you took away a friend, a son, and an icon to a lot of people.
Whether they called him Lil Snupe or just a Darien, many say he was a rising star they'll not soon forget.
Darren Ross, a.k.a. Lil Snupe, was born on June 13, 1995, in Jonesboro, Louisiana, to his mother, Denisha Chester, and his father, Charlie Brown. His
Stay tuned. We gonna rock together.
And his dad would be in and out of prison for much of his life. Jonesboro is a small town of less than 5,000 in the Jackson County parish. Not too many people are able to make it out, and the resources to succeed are almost non-existent. Growing up, he watched his mom struggle as a young parent trying to make ends meet and provide the best that she could. Lil Snupe began to show an interest in rap at only 4 years old. He would tell his mom that one day he was gonna be famous. She really didn't take him seriously at the time, but supported her son's aspirations regardless. When Snoop was 3 years old, his father, who had numerous run-ins with the law, was sentenced to 21 years in prison. And it was starting to look like he was gonna follow in his father's footsteps. He was arrested on multiple occasions for numerous juvenile crimes, ultimately being sent to a detention center. But despite his mom's best efforts to keep him out of the streets, he would continue to get in trouble. Snoop wasn't ready to give up the streets. He also never gave up on his dream of wanting to become a rapper. And at 15 years old, he was still telling his mom that's what he was gonna be, one of the most famous and well-known rappers in the world, who put Jonesboro, Louisiana on the map. But his mom would respond by saying that God's not gonna bless you with anything until you change your ways.
Yeah, Lil Snupe out of Jonesboro, Louisiana. Shout out to Jonesboro, Louisiana, man. You don't know much about Snoop, man. He definitely he had a moment, right? And before he could really capitalize on that moment, and before the world actually got to see him, you're gonna find out right now. That's why you turned in and that's why you tuned in, man. It's the remix with Cali Drake, man. Yo, tap in with this story, man. The mysterious murder of a rising star. Hit that like button, man. Subscribe to the channel. Nikki 901. What up? What up? Hey, I appreciate you coming to tap in with your boy, man. We revisiting the life of Lil Snupe, man. Hit that like button for your boy. Subscribe to the channel.
A more positive life. Eventually, Snoop would start to listen to his mom, taking heed to her wise words, putting more focus into rap instead of focusing on the streets. His mom purchased music equipment for him so he could set up his own studio in his room. She admitted that she didn't purchase the equipment because she wanted him to become a rapper. Initially, it was a way for her to know where he was at, instead of running around Jonesboro with the wrong crowd. Snoop would be in his studio creating for hours on end, and the music could be heard throughout their small apartment, and his mom noticed the progression he was making as a rapper.
Was like 4, I believe. He was rapping. Then he would just kind of say something that really didn't make sense the first sentence, and then the next one just would rhyme whatever he said. I think it's in his DNA because his father, if he would have played his cards right, he would have been a rapper or whatever have you. So I think it was just more so in his DNA, and he just lived out his father's dream is what he did.
Like, you gotta get on YouTube and like, you gotta expose yourself, you know what I mean? Like, let people start knowing who you is. Don't just rap by yourself, you know what I'm saying, when you just chilling. Like, you gotta let people know who you is, you know what I'm saying?
What's mine? That's just hands down. Jones bring this mother. And any getting away, I swear to God, you getting rolled over. That's just real. Come on, man. It's the takeover, and we balling over here, but I'm on the mic like I'm f***ing broke. Keep that hunger, nigga.
Snoop knew that there wasn't much of a music scene where he was from, so he would have to find a way to get his name out to the public. So he decided to start posting freestyle videos on YouTube as free promotion, in hopes that the right person seen him and was able to put him on in the music industry. He was able to gain some traction, with one of his videos being posted on Hodge World Entertainment and going on to get over 1 million views on YouTube. Snoop was really trying to make things happen in his rap career, and his mom seen that too and wanted to help her son out in any way that she could. She contacted a cousin in California that she knew who was into music, an engineer and producer who goes by the name of C-Now. After speaking with his cousin, he told Denisha that he would give her son a listen and let her know what he thought. He went to YouTube and looked up some of the music that Snoop had already put out, and he was blown away by what he heard. He called Snoop's mom back and told her that he was making plans for him to come out to California so they can make music together. But for some reason, those plans fell through, and Snoop would never make the trip to Cali, although fate and circumstances would bring them together, due to the fact that there was family issues going on in Louisiana that forced C-Now to leave California and move back to his home city, not too far from where Lil Snoop was at. They got together and started discussing the idea of creating a mixtape. Snoop told C-Now that he wanted to call it 16 and Running. He wanted it to have 16 tracks with a mix of freestyle and original music by him.
His mom, my cousin, Denisha, she contacted me like, I got a son. And I ain't just saying this because he my son, but I believe he got it. You should check him out. I heard him and I was like, man.
He also continued to make a name for himself around Louisiana, winning multiple freestyle battles at Grambling State University. During one of those battles, he ran into a man named Edric Stewart, aka Little E, a small-town hustler from Monroe, Louisiana, who spent a lot of time in Jonesboro. They got real cool, and Snoop started to spend a lot of time with Little E and his friends. Some of them were even the same people who were around when Lil Snoop started to record his debut mixtape 16 and Running. According to C-Now, when they first started recording, the studio stayed full, but as the grind of creating an album kicked in, over time it was just him and Snoop. There were also people who were a part of Snoop's circle who tried to pull C-Now to the side and tell him that he's wasting his time and that he should try to work with a bigger artist from Louisiana.
Yeah, so this Lil Snoop, I think his first manager, mom's got in contact with him, told him son is dope, you know what I'm saying? And he was, you know what I mean? He was a freestyle demon at a young age, you know what I mean? And so he actually ends up connecting with the right people. And so it seemed, you know what I mean? And actually he actually ended up connecting with the right people. He ran out of time, you know what I mean? More than anything, you know what I'm saying? Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, man.
Because nobody wants to hear a little kid from Jonesboro.
D-Lo, he right beside me. And I be in the hood, and it ain't never hard to find me. Man. It getting real.
Spit that shit.
Grind that, man. 16 and running everybody, make sure they get that, the how to, rapping. I really put my heart and my soul into that, my surroundings, everybody around me. I put them in there and just let them really know that I really am the next up. I really do this. You know what I'm saying? It's ain't a game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm really from a small city, big dream.
Hey, listen, a lot of motherfuckers say they're the next step. A lot of motherfuckers really believe they're the next step. Hey, this young motherfucker right here, this young man right here, bruh, he had it. He had it. Y'all go run back some of that Lil Snupe, man. Go support that. You know what I mean? Most definitely. Y'all gonna be blown away. Bro has some talent.
Together for you. Who put those beats together for you?
Man, C-Nah, man. C-Nah, man. He engineered my whole mixtape. Like, he gave me a chance. Nigga gave me a chance. Like, shit, like, niggas was didn't want recording. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even I know my was probably telling him even when he first started with me, like, it ain't gonna work out well. But shit, the nigga is still, you know what I'm saying? And we here today, you know what I'm saying?
Despite what the doubters were saying, Snoop and C-Now continued to put in work. They even decided to create a documentary to show Snoop's come up. They also posted it on YouTube to get promotion for the upcoming mixtape. But soon Snoop would get the opportunity to really make a name for himself in music. He got word that his favorite rapper, Meek Mill, would be performing at Grambling State University in the fall of 2012. Snoop believed that if he could get his demo tape in Meek Mill's hands, it could possibly change his life. He had an inside connect with a security guard at Grambling. He asked her if she could get him backstage when Meek Mill came. She agreed to set it up, and Snoop knew that he had his opportunity. Snoop told his producer C-Now what his plans was, and he thought that it was a good idea. Snoop grabbed the demo tape, and he was headed on his way on the night of the concert. But before he left out, C-Now stopped him and told him that instead of taking one demo, he should take two. At first, Snoop resisted, but ultimately went along with C-Now's idea, and it would prove to be a life-changing decision. He made the drive from Jonesboro to Grambling with Lil E and his friends. And when they arrived, the concert was absolutely packed. Snoop still made his way through a sea of people to find the security guard who was going to let him backstage to see Meek, giving him that one moment that he needed to hand his rap idol his demo. But the security guard had bad news. It was too many people backstage, and it just wasn't enough room to let him back there. But she did tell Snoop that she could take his demo CD and hand it to Meek Mill directly. He was disappointed but agreed. Then he remembered that he had a second demo CD. His producer C-Now's advice had went from being an afterthought to absolute genius. He then left the building through a side door, and when he stepped outside, he was staring directly at Meek Mill's SUV, and it was completely empty. He knew at some point Meek and his crew would have to come outside, and that would be his opportunity to give him his demo. When he seen Meek get in the truck, he ran over and tapped on the window, and when it rolled down, he threw his demo tape inside and told him to check it out before walking away.
So we come out, you know what I'm saying? Get in the van. Yeah, they get in the van, they finna go. I knock on the door, I knock on the window, you know what I'm saying? They look over, I hold my mixtape up, you know what I'm saying? They drive it down the window, they grab it. And I walked off. So boom, we go to the little party. We outside chilling before we go in and shit outside the party. So my homeboy them telling me like, I might nigga threw your shit out the window, bro. Ain't nobody listen to that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he like, man.
Damn, that's fucked up. That's fucked up.
I don't know about this nigga just, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yo, what's up? It's your boy Meek Mill, and my first time with Lil Snupe, I remember leaving out of a college in Louisiana. When I was leaving out of college, there was a lot of people banging on my window, but it was one young kid, he had a hoodie on. He had his hoodie on, and he was just banging on my window, but he was calm doing it. I told my homie, like, get his CD. And when we rode off, we played the CD on the jet. The first beat he rapped off was one of my beats. And he was from South with a flow of an East Coast guy, like with that bounce flow all over the place. He really could spit. You know what I'm saying? And he was talking that talk that I could really relate to. I could feel. So, you know, that's what I speak. So I seen that in him. You know, I seen hungriness, you know, I seen potential in him.
He was extremely excited that he accomplished his mission. But when he got back in the car and told his friends that he was able to give Meek his demo, they quickly doubted that anything would come of it and said that he probably threw his demo tape out of the window. But they would be proven wrong, because within an hour of getting Lil Snoop's CD, he was already tweeting out his lyrics. Then he received a phone call from Meek telling him that he was a hot rapper and that he was interested in signing him to his new label he was forming called
Yeah.
Dream Chasers.
Yeah, hey, Snoop was with it, man. Hey, listen. Even his homies was like, hey, Meek probably threw your shit out the back. But nah, Snoop had a lot of talent, man. That young man was most definitely with the business. You know what I'm saying? Freestyle, out of this world flows. You know what I mean? Go run him up, man. Go run him up.
Everybody in the car was in complete disbelief, especially Snoop. He already looked up to Meek Mill as a rapper, and now he had the opportunity to actually sign to his label and get his foot into the music business. When he got home, he was extremely excited to tell his mom about what just happened. He had to pull up Meek Mill on YouTube to show her who he was. She was happy for her son, but found it hard to believe that anything would ever come of it. Snoop came to her and told her that he had been in contact with Meek and that he was going to be sending him a bus ticket in the next few weeks. He wanted to bring him out to Philly so they could hit the studio. This was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, especially somebody from Jonesboro, but initially his mom would tell him no. Due to the fact that he was still underage during this time, being only 17, he had never left the state of Louisiana, and he was his mama's only son. She was very protective of him, and the idea of him going to a big city like Philadelphia alone made her extremely worried. Snoop had to come up with an idea to get his mom on his side. He had one of his friends pose as a representative of Meek Mill's camp, making it seem like everything was already set up when Snoop arrived in Philadelphia. When the day finally arrived for Snoop to depart, his mom made sure to pack all of his luggage, all of his clothes, food, snacks, and any necessities that he may need. Even though he was setting out on his journey to become a man, he was still her baby. According to his mom, Denisha, when they were at the bus station, she was crying uncontrollably. She said the bus driver looked at her like she was crazy, and her and Snoop shared a long hug before he got on the bus. She continued to cry as the bus drove away, and her and Snoop maintained eye contact until she received a text message from him that said, "Mama, don't cry. I'm about to go and change our lives."
So a couple of weeks later, he was like, Meek want me to come to Philly. And I was like, Snoop, you're not going to Philly. Because I'm working, right? And who gonna go to Philly like on a say, well, I'm gonna go hoping this man sign you. He come back, I got my ticket. But it was a Greyhound ticket.
Or a bus ticket.
A bus and ticket. I was like, Greyhound ticket? What are you sending? I'm thinking, why would you done been down here on a jet and you gonna send for my baby on a Greyhound?
Yeah.
Like, that then here I go again with my logic thinking self. Well, maybe he just want to see how bad Snoop wants it. And I'm just hugging him like, Snoop, if they get to acting weird, you need to say you need to use the bathroom. I'm on my way. I was trying to get him ready for if something happened.
Yeah.
And Snoop was like, he gonna be okay. And he got on the bus and there was an overpass. And before he could get over, I could still see the bus leaving. And he texted me, he said, Mama, do not cry. I'm about to make our dreams come true.
Wow.
Snoop had been rapping ever since he was a little kid, and always had dreams of becoming a star. This opportunity in front of him was years in the making. It was a chance to get out of the streets, a chance to get out of Jonesboro and out of poverty, finally turning his nightmares into dreams. When he arrived in Philly, he immediately got an opportunity to further impress Meek, going up against some of the young hot rappers in the city in a freestyle battle, with the most classic being up against a rapper named Retro, who was signed to NFL player Deshaun Jackson's record label. Not to mention that $10,000 was on the line, more money than Snoop had ever seen at one time in his life. It went on to gain 14 million views on YouTube and went down in history as a legendary freestyle battle. Meek was impressed with Snoop, and he began to spend a lot of time in Philly around the Dream Chasers crew.
Yeah, this was a legendary battle right here, man. This young boy went out there and showed out. He went out there and showed out like
views on you.
Yeah, 14 million views on YouTube. You know what I mean? So he was out there getting to it, man. Meek did not waste his time at all. You know what I'm saying? Deshaun Jackson artist definitely, you know what I'm saying, put up a fight, but it was Lil Snupe to win that night, man. You know what I mean?
YouTube and went down in history as a legendary freestyle battle. Meek was impressed with Snoop, and he began to spend a lot of time in Philly around the Dream Chasers crew. He continued to earn his stripes with impressive freestyles in the studio, and Snoop knew that it was only a matter of time before he became an official member of the Dream Chasers. In March of 2013, he would drop his RNIC mixtape with a single called Nobody featuring Meek Mill. And in April of that same year, he would officially sign to Dream Chasers. Meek would show off his new protege at numerous radio interviews, such as Hot 97 and Sway in the Morning.
Yeah, so Lil Snupe was officially signed to Dream Chasers, man. So he actually made it, man. He did get signed. You know what I'm saying? Hit that like button as well, man. Subscribe to the channel. I appreciate y'all for rocking with your boy, man. We tapping in with the story of Lil Snupe right now. Signed to Dream Chasers out of Louisiana, man. Shout out to the book. You know what I mean?
And in April of that same year, he would officially sign to Dream Chasers. Meek would show off his new protege at numerous radio interviews, such as Hot 97 and Sway in the Morning. Snoop was right by his side, and you could tell that he was impatiently waiting, ready to unleash a freestyle to show everybody in the world who was up next. It was definitely a surreal situation for Snoop. He went from looking up to Meek Mill to now him being like his big brother. Rick Ross, who was one of the hottest rappers in the game during his time, also co-signed Snoop. And he was rubbing elbows with some of the top dogs in the game.
And Meek pop up on my timeline, and he rapped the line. I said, man, that line sounds familiar. Then the next time he put it up, he was like, Dad's Lil Snupe. I said, oh, yeah, I know what time it is now. It's about to go down.
Hey, how does it feel working with somebody like Meek Mill, man?
That feel good, because I was listening to Meek from Mr. Philadelphia, the Dream Chasers 1, the Dream Chasers 2. And now I'm with him, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like, it's just crazy when we be in a freestyle session. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, like I looked up to him like a big artist, you know what I'm saying? Now I look at him to him like a big brother, you know what I'm saying?
He had big plans for his career, and one of those plans included him doing a song with his favorite rapper, Lil Boosie, who was actually locked up during this time, but Lil Snoop would shout him out every chance that he got. He went from doing shows.
Yeah, Boo shows up again, man. Boo always associated with a bunch of shit, man. Let's just leave it right there. Boo always associated with a whole bunch of shit, and today it still remains true, man. Hit that like button.
Small towns around Louisiana to rocking stages all over the country with Meek Mill and the Dream Chasers. Snoop was added to the Dreams Come True tour with sold-out concerts all over. He was telling his mom ever since he was a young boy that
you know what I'm talking about, Nicki 901. You know what I'm talking about.
Like he was keeping that promise. His mom couldn't have been any more proud of her son, but she was also surprised by his turnaround. Just a few months earlier, he was getting in trouble, and she was trying to figure out what to do. And now he was on the verge of rap stardom.
We put this out on FlaysUniversity.com.
Yeah, it's gonna be nasty.
They about to start coming for you. You ready for that?
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
It's
damn.
going down.
Okay. So all right. Good, man.
He said you do, man. That's what I let him know. I already know, man. Hey, look, this shit is real. He just came on.
Man, Coon, if I walk out that bitch, say, what's Boston? What's the f***ing deal? They start going crazy. I start these fuckers was saying lyrics, nigga. Just say I'm too hot, living the life of Biggie and Tupac. You know who shot his ass with that ooh-wop. Then Jay-Z go broke, nigga, when Snoop stop. That'll be level, bitch. I'm only getting better. About whatever. I'm a trendsetter, man. It's cold out here. I'm vibing in the world.
Woo! Bars. Hey, listen. Shout out to Lil Snoop, man. Them is bars right there, man. He can't be but 17, 18 years old, man. He was definitely on his way. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to Lil Snoop, man. Most definitely.
Knew that I make it out one day.
I talked to Meek after the battle.
After the battle, what did he say?
He told me he was about to change Snoop's life. Yep.
And what did you say to him?
I was just like, I'm telling y'all, I was like, y'all see this shit?
On June 19th of 2013, Lil Snoop was back in his hometown after taking a break from touring, and he had just celebrated his 18th birthday a few days earlier. He spent most of that day with his mom, and she stated that she remembers a conversation that they had about his career and what was coming up next, talking about all of the great things that Snoop had going on in his life and how excited they were about the future. She said that he talked about how some of his friends around him was already starting to change due to the fame, and he knew that as his career continued to grow, he would have to make his circle much smaller.
Yeah, man, a lot of us run into that. You know what I'm saying? If you're doing anything successful in your life, you probably didn't have to clip them off couple motherfuckers too, man. But he, you know what I'm saying, a teenager, and had to really realize this in real time, real quick, because he was blowing up. You know, one day it's just him and his mom. Next day, you know, Meek Mills is in the picture. So most definitely had a lot. You know what I'm saying? He most definitely had a lot on his plate. Well, Uncle G talking about you definitely got to break down everything that happened with Gaddafi from the Outlaws. Oh yeah. That's another one, man. Listen, hey, send me some suggestions, man. You know what I'm saying? I just be kind of, you know what I mean? Just, you know, my history of the game and motherfuckers that I didn't hear about. That's usually what I be trying to get it on. But yeah, send me some shit, man. I'll break that shit down for sure.
Oh, we were just talking, and I don't remember the details, but what stuck out to me was he said, "Mama, you're gonna go." He said, "And you're gonna spend thousands of dollars." He said, "And people are gonna change on you, Mama." He told me, he said, "It's not the people with the money that's gonna change. It's gonna be the people without the money that's gonna change."
And he's gonna
the
be your
reason why
friends.
that hurt is because
Yeah, all you broke ass motherfuckers, man. That's what we talk about. Y'all gonna change. And I think that's a little bit true, man. I mean, some motherfuckers with money do lose their mind. No, let's not get it fucked up. But I think when you become successful and you successful for, you know, either overnight or for a long period of time, people, you know, people just people do weird shit all the time, bro. You know what I mean? I'm a 6'2" black man in America. Every time I walk in the elevator, you know what I mean? Motherfuckers be looking at me kind of funny. So I mean, and I probably got more money in my pocket than they do on that day, but not today. So hit that Cash App. Get the likes up. Subscribe to this motherfucking channel, man. We tapping in with Lil Snupe tonight, man.
that was so true.
At around midnight on June 20th, 2013, Lil Snupe and Lil E left Jonesboro and headed to another town called Winfield about 30 minutes away. They were headed to the apartment of a 36-year-old man named Tony Holden, somebody that Snoop met through Lil E. The plan was for them to gamble on the video game 2K13. Whoever wins gets $100. But something went wrong during the night. Things would take a dark turn, and by the morning, Lil Snupe was dead. His mom got a knock on her door at about 5 a.m. She actually thought it was Snoop, because the way that the person knocked was similar to the way that he did. But when she opened the door, it wasn't her son. It was her next door neighbor in tears, saying,
Yeah. Let me spin that back. A game of 2K. I mean, a game, I guess they was playing live back then. Turns into this lady losing her son. Hit that like
they were
button.
headed to the apartment of a 36-year-old man named Tony Holden, somebody that Snoop met through Lil E. The plan was for them to gamble on the video game 2K13. Whoever wins gets $100. But something went wrong during the night. Things would take a dark turn, and by the morning, Lil Snoop was dead. His mom got a knock on her door at about 5 a.m. She actually thought it was Snoop, because the way that the person knocked was similar to the way that he did. But when she opened the door, it wasn't her son. It was her next door neighbor in tears, saying that she had just got a bad call and Lil Snoop had been murdered. Denisha didn't want to believe what she was hearing, and when her neighbor told her that it happened in Winfield, she got in her car and immediately got on the highway. She called Snoop's manager and he put her on a three-way call with Meek Mill. They talked for the entire drive down there, trying to figure out what was really going on and what happened to Snoop. The crime scene was surrounded by onlookers, and as Denisha made her way through the crowd, she laid eyes on her son and immediately broke down. She was consoled by the chief of the Winfield Police Department, Johnny Ray Carpenter, who vowed that he would find out who did this to her son. News outlets began to report that he died over a drug deal gone wrong. Then it was changed to a dice game, and finally they said it was over the 2K video game. Snoop's mom didn't really know what to believe, but one person was ready to tell her the story about what happened.
Have you ever felt
like you wanted to skip all these commercials? Yeah, bitch. All right. Hit that like button.
And after getting his side of the story and speaking with the Winfield Police Department, it would come out that Tony Holden was the one responsible for shooting Lil Snupe, but he was still on the run from law enforcement. Edric Stewart attended his wake with the family, as well as his funeral, playing the role of a grieving friend. Denisha said that she was always skeptical of Lil E's story, but she had no choice but to believe him during that time. But as she continued to investigate and learn new information, she would soon learn that Little E was never Snoop's friend, and he was more like Bishop, the character portrayed by legendary rapper Tupac Shakur in the 1991 film Juice. He killed his best friend Raheem and attended the funeral hugging his mother. And in Snoop's mom's opinion, this character embodied who Little E really was.
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely on some Bishop shit. Listen, that shit happened to Jam Master Jay too, man. Actually, that might be the one I break down for y'all next. I don't know if y'all familiar with the Jam Master Jay situation, but I might break that down in one of the next joints. But this motherfucker right here, yeah. Listen, definitely shouldn't have made it through the month. Definitely shouldn't have made it through the month. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Nikki 901. That Jam Master Jay is deep, but it's some similar things going on, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel.
Evil snake who would backdoor his own friends. After speaking with people around the small town of Winfield, she would learn that Tony Holden wasn't even on the run. People said that they witnessed the chief of police, Johnny Ray Carpenter, drive him away in the front seat of his patrol car. This confused Denisha because the same person that vowed to find Snoop's killer was harboring the person allegedly responsible for the murder. She was able to get in contact with people who were close to Tony Holden and able to get his side of the story. And according to him, it wasn't just over a game of 2K. There was much more to the story. He said that Snoop and Little E did come to his apartment that night to play 2K for $100 a game. But while they were all kicking it, him and Little E end up having words that put tension in the air. He said that him and Snoop continued to play 2K, and Little E was sitting on the couch behind him. But every time he looked back, Little E had a mean mug on his face and was acting like he was clutching for his gun. Tony said he got up and went to his room and came back with his .45 caliber pistol, pointing it at Little E, telling him that it was time to go. He said that he did leave the apartment, arguing the entire way out the door. Tony and Little Snoop tried to continue their game of 2K, but 5 minutes later it would be...
Okay, so bro felt the negative energy in the air and made Lil E raise the fuck up out of there. Pointed the pistol at him and told him to get the fuck on. You know what I'm saying? But unfortunately, that wasn't the end of it, man.
Tony and Little Snoop tried to continue their game of 2K, but 5 minutes later it would be a knock at the door. It was Little E, and it sounded like he was banging on the door with the handle of a gun. Tony said that he opened the door with his pistol already raised, and he escorted Little E out of his apartment building at gunpoint. Snoop followed behind trying to de-escalate the situation. He said that the commotion continued outside, and it got to the point where he actually fired a shot at Little E. Then he took off running along with Little Snoop down a gangway that led to the back of the apartment building. Tony said that he lost sight of them after that, but he did hear 2 gunshots come from behind the apartment, and those had to be the same 2 gunshots that killed Little Snoop. This story made Denisha believe that something happened between her son and his so-called friend Little E, resulting in an altercation and ultimately Little E killing him, then robbing him. Little Snoop didn't have his jewelry, money, or the car keys of the vehicle that he drove over there in. It was gone, leading his mom to believe that he was backstabbed by one of his so-called friends.
Hold up. Hey Snoop, you rocking with me tonight? Fucking with me.
Peace to my Lil Snoop. We're gonna shine hard for you, love. Levels.
I'm standing here at the Maplewood Apartments where earlier this morning at 4 o'clock, Adarian Ross, also known as Lil Snupe, was murdered.
I woke up this morning and I lost a great friend. He was a rapper. He inspired many kids to live out their dreams.
Winfield police say Lil Snupe was shot twice in the chest and died at the scene. They say the motive is still not clear.
As we get more information, I think it'll be more clear as to what that motive might have been.
In the span of just a couple of hours, the crime scene has turned into a memorial where people are bringing flowers, cards, and candles.
What caused it? What caused the altercation? What happened?
That's what I don't know. Like, I don't know the real truth because the older person told me that basically him and Snoop was playing the game and that the little friend that Snoop had with him, the guy that actually murdered him, because it's not his friend, he kept clutching. He had a gun. He kept clutching. So the older guy told me that raised a flag for him. Like, what are you doing? I got all this money in here, and so what are you doing?
Yeah, how many of y'all believe that story, man? How many of y'all believe that story? Can't trust a soul around this bitch. Yeah, Letitia, you damn right about that. You damn right. Hey, how many of y'all believe the story? It's two individuals in the room with Snoop while they playing the game. The older guy say that the young guy looked like he about to clutch his pistol. He get nervous. He raised up on the younger guy. Now, the part of that story that didn't really make sense to me when they were telling it was when the older guy said he raised him up out the apartment, he said Lil Snupe took off running too. I don't know if y'all caught that. But he said Lil Snupe took off running too when he raised up. But initially it was supposed to be he was raising the gun because Lil Bro was looking like he was going up on Lil Snupe. You see what I'm saying? So it's already some confusion in what one of the, I ain't gonna even call them friends, one of the ops that was with Lil Snupe with the story that he telling.
On 25th, 2013, MTV reported that Tony Holden turned himself in to law enforcement, being charged with first-degree murder, armed robbery, and a felon in possession of a firearm. And on July 3rd, 2013, Edric Stewart would be arrested and charged with manslaughter. Things were starting to look up in the Lil Snupe murder investigation, and his mom felt that justice would really be served over the tragic death of her son. That's why she was completely stunned when she learned just 2 months later that Tony Holden's charges would be reduced, the murder charge would be dropped, and the armed robbery charge would be dropped. And the only thing that would stand would be a felon in possession of a firearm.
What? Hold on. Let me spin that back. I got to spin that all the fucking way back. Hold
I
up.
know the real truth because the older person told me that basically him and Snoop was playing the game and that the little friend that Snoop had with him, the guy that actually murdered him, because it's not his friend, he kept clutching. He had a gun. He kept clutching. So the older guy told me that raised a flag for him. Like, what are you doing? I got all this money in here. And
Definitely
so
a back door.
What are you doing?
Somebody left the back door wide the fuck open, bro.
2013, MTV reported that Tony Holden turned himself in to law enforcement, being charged with first-degree murder, armed robbery, and a felon in possession of a firearm. And on July 3rd, 2013, Edric Stewart would be arrested and charged with manslaughter. Things were starting to look up in the Lil Snupe murder investigation, and his mom felt that justice would really be served over the tragic death of her son. That's why she was completely stunned when she learned just 2 months later that Tony Holden's charges would be reduced, the murder charge would be dropped, and the armed robbery charge would be dropped.
Wow.
And the only thing that would stand would be a felon in possession of a firearm.
You gotta be
which
fucking
carried a
kidding me,
sentence
bro.
of up to 10 years in prison, but not nearly enough for the involvement in the death of her son. And to make things even worse, Lil E's charge of manslaughter would be dropped due to lack of evidence. This absolutely devastated Lil Snupe's mom, Denisha. She didn't understand what was going on.
Yeah,
but the
yeah, I
more
don't
she
understand what's going on. It sounds like everybody's getting smooth the fuck off for the murder of Lil Snoop. That's what it sounds like to me, man. I don't know what it sounds like to y'all, but this some bullshit. I just gotta throw that out there, man. That ain't even quality commentary, but that's just the first shit that came to my mind. This is some bullshit.
learned about the chief of police in Winfield, Louisiana, Johnny Ray Carpenter, the more things made sense. She learned that Tony Holden was a well-known drug dealer in Winfield and had connections to the police chief, not to mention that in 2011, he spent 6 months in federal prison for obstruction of justice charges. This made Denisha come to the realization that the system was completely corrupt.
Oh, yo, spin that back. We gotta spin that back. You gotta be fucking kidding me.
Had connections to the police chief, not to mention that in 2011, he spent 6 months in federal.
Nah, they didn't just say he had connections to the police chief.
But the more she learned about the chief of police in Winfield, Louisiana.
Yeah, he looked crooked than a motherfucker. That's what I just learned looking at this picture. I just really fully analyzed this picture. He looked crooked than a motherfucker. Yeah.
Johnny Ray Carpenter, the more things made sense. She learned that Tony Holden was a well-known drug dealer in Winfield and had connections to the police chief, not to mention that in 2011, He spent 6 months in federal prison for obstruction of justice charges. This made Denisha come to the realization that the system was completely corrupt. In 2014, Tony Holden was sentenced to 10 years in prison, but the very next year in 2015, Lil Snupe's mom received a letter from the Winfield Police Department saying that her son's case had been officially closed.
Wow.
Lil E would never be brought up on charges and face justice. Denisha did believe that Tony Holden played a role in Snoop's death, but she also believed that it was Lil E who fired the fatal shots. She would fight for the next 2 years to have the case reopened, and she was finally able to succeed, getting charges brought up on Lil E and a trial date set for January of 2018. But there was only one issue. He wasn't brought up on the murder charges that she was hoping for. It was the illegal use of a firearm during a violent crime, which in the state of Louisiana carries 1 to 2 years in prison or a simple fine of $1,000.
Wow.
Ultimately, Lil E would pay the fine, and the case would be once again closed. After having to endure
You gotta
what she
be
considered
fucking
to be a
kidding me.
miscarriage of justice, Lil Snoop's mom would go on the internet, spreading the word about how poorly her son's case was handled by the DA and by the chief of police. She told a story about how she planned on suing the Winfield Police Department in a civil suit, but was told to wait until the Tony Holden case had concluded, or it could possibly cause complications. But when she tried to file the civil suit after Tony Holden's trial, she was told that the statute of limitations had already passed.
Oh, hell
Something
no.
that she knew that the courts and law enforcement was already aware of and set her up. She also did numerous interviews online openly talking about the man who she felt was responsible for killing her son, Lil E, but he would also do his own set of interviews refuting her claims, stating that she really didn't know what she was talking about when it came to the relationship of him and Lil Snoop.
What's up with it? I'm E, Edge Store, person who again accused by Snoop Mama that I killed him, but I didn't do it. Like, facts proof.
Yeah. Nicki 901, yeah. Wow. Wow. I don't even like how I don't even like how this motherfucker just showed up on my screen, man. But watch his face when he references what happened to Lil Snoop. Watch his face.
Came to the relationship of him and Lil Snoop.
What's up with it? I'm E, Edge Store, person who again accused by Snoop Mama that I killed.
Yeah. He too happy about being where he at talking about this shit. I don't see no remorse in this dude. I don't even like the way he fucking look. He looked like a grimy ass, no good snake ass motherfucker, man. And that's just what it is. And I stand on that.
But I didn't do it. Like, facts proof.
When you saw the interview, what was your initial reaction?
Like, it fucked me up because she talking like, she said something like, he played Bishop or something like that. Like, what the fuck? Like, everybody that know me know that ain't me. Then she just gonna say his bullet, man. It's like, man, that's Louisiana, bro. Shit not possible. A matching gun bullet. Like, and the person been walking out here for 4 years.
Things people were saying to you, like on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
They were like, you killed Snoop. You a bitch ass nigga. Nigga would comment on it and be like, you watch.
Yeah, I agree with all that. I agree with all that.
Snoop, you envy him.
Bitch ass nigga.
You know, I'm tripping.
You killed Snoop, nigga.
Like, man, y'all tripping. Like, man, what the fuck? I'm envious somebody I'm headed to the top with, bro.
Say you really just have that friend. You know, I feel that way because of my situation. You know,
it is. Even if he wasn't a trigger man, you was a part of the setup. It was two motherfuckers there with Snoop. The older motherfucker say he raised his gun on that young motherfucker we just saw, because he looked like he was clutching. And he damn sure dude looked like he was clutching. I could tell in his face that's the look he just give off naturally. But the part of that story that didn't make no sense to me was the older guy's telling that story. He's saying when he upped the pistol, Lil Snoop take off running too. But in the beginning of that story, he said he noticed Lil E looking at Lil Snoop funny. And that's why he upped the pistol. So if he was upping the pistol to protect Lil Snoop, why Lil Snoop take off running when he upped the blick? Yeah, y'all let me know in the comments. Because I have no fucking clue.
That everybody that you think won't will. You know, the person that you think won't, that person very much will. So you have to be very, very mindful of the people you keep in your circle.
Lil E's claims of not being a killer would take a hit in 2016 because a murder warrant would be put out for him after a New Year's Eve shooting in Monroe, Louisiana on December 31st of 2015. But the charges would ultimately be dropped, and Lil E would once again be the murder rap. There was a lot of suspicion in the death of Lil Snoop, and his mom would continue to fight for years. But she not only had to fight a system that was against her, she had to fight against Lil Snoop's own dad, Charlie Brown, who was incarcerated during the time of Lil Snoop's death, just as he had been incarcerated during the majority of his life. When he was released from prison in 2021, he immediately started to make noise online. He was upset that his son didn't have a proper headstone, and he blamed Jay-Z and Meek Mill, calling them out for not donating money to make sure that his son got a proper burial. Snoop's mom would come out and let it be known that this wasn't true, stating that Meek Mill told her there is no money limit on the burial or the headstone for Snoop. She said that it was her decision not to give him a headstone because it would symbolize finality.
Okay, so it was mom's decision not to give him a headstone because she didn't want it to that finality said, that makes sense, man. I'm gonna tell y'all, you know what I mean? I lost my whole motherfucking family, man. I lost probably like 10 family members. No cap. And so that finality shit is real. But Pops went at me saying, "Oh, you ain't dropped no bread." Like, nah, bro, you got to get the whole story. You've been locked up. You don't even know what the fuck going on, Pop. Respectfully, you know what I'm saying? But you know, it's unfortunate, man, how this shit unfolded. If y'all know anything about this story, man, let me know in the comments, man. But yeah, this is a story that definitely back in the day had a lot of people, you know, up in arms, even on the West Coast, man. We heard about this. You know what I'm saying? We heard the Lil Snoop you know, songs and shit he was doing. You know what I mean? We was aware of all that activity. And so especially, you know, this motherfuckers from the boot out here in Cali anyway. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, most definitely was following the movement. And this was definitely a tragic story, man.
LeBron, man. I'm gonna go see my son, Lil Snoop, man. I've been holding this shit out right here, man, since 2013, man. I was Josing then, you dig? I had this 8 years in the pen, man. I had to hold that shit in, you heard? Everybody ate off that plate, you know what I'm saying?
This Lil Snoop Pops.
Man, Mama Snoop, Meek Mill, all type of people in the street, you know what I'm saying? I ain't get a quarter out that shit, man. You heard me? That's 99% of my sauce, man. Snoop's dad.
Yeah, so finality, it just means like the end. You know what I mean? The closing, the you know, she didn't want it to feel like, you know, when you put a headstone down, it's like, you know, it's real. You know what I'm saying? So she didn't want to experience that. You know what I mean? You know, and then like I said, yeah, that I know that shit all too well. Hit that like
Went
button.
to that grave on a just flute, you know. Pookie knew that we had a discussion about Snoop's headstone. Snoop does not have a headstone due to my personal reasons. Me as a mother is just some steps when you taking this journey. It's just hard sometimes. And what I never wanted to accept is that Snoop is dead.
Yeah. She don't want to accept it. And yeah, she got a right to not accept it. You know what I mean?
And the hardest thing is to realize that he is never coming back.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Denisha continues her crusade to try to get justice for her son, Snoop. She created an online petition to have the state of Louisiana reopen the case. But despite everything that she's went through, she's managed to find positivity in a very tragic situation. She travels around the country to different detention centers and juvenile facilities, talking to at-risk youth who were around Snoop's age when he was getting in trouble and getting locked up. She tells them about her son's story and that if he can make a change for the better and turn his life around, so can they. Almost 2 years after his death, his second album, RNIC2 Jonesboro, would be released, and one of Lil Snoop's dreams would come true to work with his rap idol Lil Boosie on the song Meant to Be. Lil Boosie made sure to show up to the video set to show respect and love for Snoop. His mentor Meek Mills keeps his name alive as well, constantly shouting him out in songs and dedicating tracks to him, like the 2021 song Angels. Years later, and people continue to speculate on what exactly happened to Snoop on that night in June of 2013. But one thing that most people agree on is that somebody close to him backdoored him, giving credence to the old saying, the saddest thing about betrayal is that it never comes from an enemy. Snoop always told his mom that one day the entire world would know his name. And despite his life being tragically cut short, he was still able to accomplish that goal. Because his story is a part of hip-hop history, his name will live on forever. And Lil Snoop, he was only 18 years old when he died. Rest in peace, King.
Yeah, rest in peace, Lil Snoop, man. Most definitely gone too soon. Backdoored by some snake ass motherfuckers, grimy ass motherfuckers. He shouldn't have been nowhere near anyway. You know what I mean? Yeah, Letitia Davis, I commend her for her work. Yeah, I do too. You know, his mom, most definitely went through another disgraceful battle with the government out there in Louisiana, and you know that's one thing Boosie actually does complain about as well, is when once they got you in that trap, for sure, and they be harassing his ass too. And so as you can see, Lil Snoop's mom had a very hard time trying to get accountability and justice for her son. And so, yeah, man, this I thought was a very impactful story. I didn't know how many of y'all had actually heard about Lil Snoop before. But yeah, man, I thought, you know what I mean? Thought it was a very impactful story, man. Y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think about that. But yeah, man, sad story, man. It's yeah, them two motherfuckers shouldn't have made it through the month. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, that was my little homie, man. Them motherfuckers right there wouldn't have made it through the month. We just setting up shop, man. Set a campsite around that motherfucker, waiting on them two right there, man. So but yeah, it's a sad story, man. What else did we cover tonight, man? Went through the fuck else did I'm high as shit, man. What else did I talk about this mother? Hey, listen, when you doing a live show and you forget what the fuck you talked about. Listen, I was up all day though, man. I listen, y'all go run them other videos up, man. I covered the No Kings protest this morning, you know what I'm saying? Y'all in the sports, have some quality sports entertainment jumping off earlier, you know what I mean? With the Q7, which is the 4 and 5 star athletes that's going to college, man. They basically doing some 7-on-7. And then now I ran this show, man. You know what I mean? I'm giving y'all tons of content out this bitch, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to this motherfucking channel, man. Help me reach the mountaintop, man. Get me to the motherfucking promised land, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, what else did we talk about? Hey, I gotta scroll through this motherfucking shit. What else? Oh, we talked about the IG backdoor as well, man. So fellas, yeah. You think you talking to a chick on IG, you know what I'm saying? If you got any ops, you better make sure, you know what I'm saying, it ain't none of the ops, man, because we did cover a story where Instagram got a motherfucker shot 17 times. And so rest in peace to him. You know what I mean? And prayers out to his family as well. What else do we cover, man? The Trump corruption. You know what I mean? We're gonna cover that every single day. I'm gonna put that all in your face, man. You know what I'm saying? Actually, pause that shit. Forget I even said that last part of this shit, but I'm gonna definitely keep y'all informed with this Trump shit. You know what I mean? What else did we talk about? Shit. A lot of other shit, man. Go run this motherfucker back, man. Help me get the views, man. Y'all can figure this shit out, man. This the remix with Cali Dre. Subscribe to the channel, man. YouTube, Twitch, Kick, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? If I ain't where you at, you know what I mean? Holla at me. I'm gonna pull up over where you at, wherever you want me to be. You know what I mean? Do my 1-2, you know what I mean? And get to it, man. But yeah, I appreciate y'all for rocking with your boy. I'm finna get the hell out of here, man. I would go hit the streets, but gas is $37 a gallon out this motherfucker, man. And it's unacceptable. And so They ain't finna get me. I'm chilling. I'm finna go get on this 2K, smoke another blunt, man, and parlay. You feel what I'm saying? But yeah, I'll probably be back on this shit tomorrow, man. I definitely appreciate y'all rocking. And send me some stories too, man, if y'all want me to cover them. You know what I mean? I'm trying to do these series where, like I said, I'm breaking down, entertainers. I'm starting with rappers right now, but I'll probably expand it to like entertainers and different shit that, may have had, some very complicated, tricky, what I'm saying, suspicious type of circumstances surrounding, their death or their life. You know what I mean? So I think that's some shit I'm testing out right now. So y'all let me know how y'all feeling it, man. But this the remix with Cali Dre. I'm finna.
Money on my money, on my money, get my money, get my money on my mind, got no time for that limelight. I'm from California, man, I guess we'll start with that. Banged out starter caps, glued to the cul-de-sac, looking like an artifact, trying to get their money back. Yellow jackets coming, mama about to have a heart attack. Southeast San Diego, we was at the heart of that. You moved about the hood, my nigga, you ain't want no part of that. Move to work and let the money drip the laundry mat. I pray to God the homie get his little daughter back. So many problems and it's not even a part of rap. So many suckers and they hating and they copycat. And life is bigger than these bitches that you hollered at. And if you bleed it out, I better get $3 back. And all I'm giving is the facts. Pay attention to the stats and never making mention of the jacks. Gotta keep the money stacked, work your way through the traps. Money motivated to the max. Money on my